Hello, my internet fans. It's me, Statboy Mike, and I would like to welcome you to this week's installment of Throwback Thursday. The Casa D18 Studios Channel continues to sort through the archives of the Jeff Meacham Network, the Simple Man brand, JH95 FTW, NoDQ.com, and the Casa channel in order to bring you classic content that you may not have seen in a long time, if ever. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Throwback Thursdays offering. I love you all. Statboy out.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Button Master Stable Wars entire playlist. AEW Revolution Go Home Week, Dynamite and Rampage watch parties. Mistress Audio dramatic readings featuring voice actors from Weymouth Youth Wrestling. All Retro Wrestling Review Series videos on demand and upcoming. All WrestleMania themed retros available now on demand. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play Series. WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Let's Play Series. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. Indy Force Episode 26, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, Backlash and Rebellion Watch-Along events. FTW Productions Watch Party for WrestleMania Go Home Raw. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Casa D18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news, ATW View impromptu, WYW intro and immortal stream. Wrestling with Idiocy, Episode 7, our favorite WrestleMania matches. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
ECW, John Moxley retains the fracking title. NWA Power becomes Empower as we once again celebrate women's wrestling. We are on the final stretch to Bound for Glory, and the G1 climax finally reaches the conclusion, and AEW continues to bring renewed passion and interest and investment to professional wrestling. Why do I say all these things? It's simple, because they are about all things wrestling, and that's what we're here about too. Hello everybody, once again, who watches this on demand whenever you wish, or even listen to it on YouTube. My name is Noah Foster, and I am just a simple man once again with my friends tonight to speak and discuss and enjoy and rant, and who knows what else too, with all of you on all things wrestling. For we are ATW, and giving a shout out, of course, to the entire ATW family and crew, those who have been here, of course, in a while, but are doing their own things, including but not limited to the Enforcer Lex, our Queen Megan Chiba, our T aficionado, the lovely Indy darling Cindy G, our own wrestler, part of the Nightmare family, Kid Bandit, Nick Setters, Indigo, James Hubert, he's different, and of course, the two gentlemen I am here with tonight. I probably forgot somebody. Oh, how could I forget our bad news bearer, Eric Brown. But also he comes with good news too. Again, the family is always something special. I can't remember everybody. Plus, I just got off work after a 10-hour shift. But I digress. And no Mountain Dew tonight. But anyway, I've rabbled on enough. Yeah. So let me go ahead and introduce you to these fine gentlemen if you don't know them already. I, of course, am with the All-Elite King and an inspiration hater, and I'm sure we'll debate about that one of these days, maybe even tonight. Also, just to irk him, because I know he likes to talk like Luther. 2-0 rules! But I digress. Too sweet, me brother. Get over it. It's, of course, my friend, King A-Train, Mr. PS5, Anthony. King, how are you? I hope you had a great weekend. It's been a wild saga, as you have the graphic in the background and all things wrestling, and I literally only mentioned a few. I'm sure you got much more to discuss, too, in and out of those. But how are you tonight, man?
Man, doing good on this fine evening. You know, we're relaxing off a good AEW weekend we had last weekend, which was crazy, wild, and of course the Rampage itself. And you know, just relax on this fine Monday evening, watching. I just got to watching Dark Elevation. You know, very fun episode to cool us down before the week gets started.
Yeah, a whole nother week professional wrestling ahead, and again, so much galore. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of stuff too, controversial, as we might even talk about adopted. But of course, that'll be up to our own pleasure or dismay. With that being said, I know one man that can give you a sermon on the mount and absolve you of your sins against professional wrestling. And if you dare go against him with Dakota Kai, glasses off. Is of course my brother. I said, my brother, the preacher man at heart, from one Christian man to another, Casey Flynn. Casey, how are you this evening?
Fine to you, Noah.
Okay, simple as that. I'm doing all right. I got a little bit of Gatorade left. Might have to break another bottle, but overall, again, the 11-hour work shift, not much happened. So literally, I was sitting in my office watching Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki, which I'm sure is something we'll talk about at least 2 or 3 times, as well as AEW Dark Elevation. As of course, this week we have 2 All Elite tournaments kicking off with title implications. But that being said, let's go ahead and start with this subtangent. As again, you have all those wrestling promotions in your background, King. I want to start with this that I know is near and dear to several of our hearts. GCW. GCW, things are really moving around in that company. They brought in Mick Foley, and the show even sold out before there was even acknowledgement of Mick Foley being part of this thing. But of course, we recently had their last event, Fight Club, and during it, we saw a title change and a title retain, and a hot mess come to her hubby's aid, the couple that's always ready. Plus, someone who does whatever the hell she wants, and honestly could be a badass and hardcore more than most men, Thunder Rosa. But we also saw Nick effing Gage, MDK all effing day, of course, take on John Moxley for the GCW Heavyweight Championship. John Moxley retained. We also learned, though, that GCW is going to the pinnacle, no pun intended, of professional wrestling, extreme wrestling, ECW one-night stand vibes, folks, with how good this could be and how big this could be. They will be going next year to the Hammerstein Ballroom. Before I talk more on that, allow me to bring in somebody else. Representing Weymouth Youth Wrestling. He owns his own promotion. He does fantasy booking. He is an incredibly passionate pro wrestling fan like me. He's different. He'll tell you like it is, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, shove off. It is, of course, my good friend here, the Archangel, James Hebert. James, good to see you. You came in from out of nowhere, and we just were starting talking on topics. We hear you. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I was dealing with family business. I tried to get on, but then
it's all good.
Came up like at last minute.
But here's the way I see it: we're a family, but we also have our own families. I always tell and encourage this: priorities before passions. There's no bigger priority in anybody's life, or there shouldn't be no bigger priority in anybody's life than family. Besides taking care of yourself. Hashtag mental health matters. Hashtag tag me in. But that being said, James, before I go into our first tangent of the evening or company per se. How are you and what you been up to?
I've been busy basically setting up my streaming service things because I'm in the situation right now where I don't know if any viewers follow me on the channel that also watch your channel, but if you haven't paid attention, I've barely posted anything, and that's because I've been trying to set up the live stream stuff so that way we just go live stream going forward. Because I realize that's probably more practical than doing what I've been doing.
The thing about live stream, you don't need a second take, you don't need to do editing, and it is what it is. And again, man, you just do what you can. And just a side tangent, there will be maybe, not promising, maybe a live react to B-Block finale G1 Climax. And again, we'll talk about that and so much more. But again, man, I wish you the best in that. If the same way I can help, I'd be happy to. And if the same way I can help you collaborate outside of work and with some sort of rest, I'll be happy to be part of it too. That being said, I was just talking with these gentlemen about GCW, how they recently had the last Fight Club event with John Moxley retaining the title. Matt Cardona got his title back, and Chelsea Green made her GCW debut and presence known, and she likes it here. And we also saw Thunder Rosa once again do whatever the hell she wants in anything pro wrestling. And we also saw Mick Foley. A lot of things went down, but the biggest thing to come out of that night was definitely the fact that GCW next year is going to the Hammerstein Ballroom. So with that being said,
that's big for them. That's really big for them.
Very big, very big.
Yeah, think about that. The Hammerstein Ballroom is like the personification of a professional wrestling venue. So I want to just get y'all's thoughts on how big you think this is and how important you think the Hammerstein Ballroom is to professional wrestling. We've seen several promotions through there.
It's funny that I came in here a lot right when I did, because if you're talking about the Hammerstein Ballroom, you got to go back to 2001, or I guess you could also count 2005, even though it was kind of WWE-ized. ECW was final time it was in the Hammerstein, and ever since that's been gone, per se, they've had other events there, like Ring of Honor's been there, and other places have been there, but nothing has quite captured the ECW feel. I think GCW is going to be the closest thing to an ECW the Hammersteins had in years. And if they can get Mick Foley on that card, that just to even cut a promo or ref a match, that's going to even commentate, that's going to be even bigger. So, I mean, this is a huge coup for GCW. And yeah, the fact that Mick Foley was there on that show with that grand announcement, dude, Mick Foley is probably the most over person in that fucking building.
I mean, he's the living hardcore legend, one of the most humble, respectable, and let's be honest, despite how many shots he's taken to the head, and there's been a lot, he still is one of the smartest people in the entire professional wrestling industry, bar none. That being said, Casey, your thoughts on the Hammerstein Ballroom? How big and important has this been? You've been to you as a professional wrestling fan, and what do you expect to see or feel maybe for GCW using it?
All right. I think it's pretty huge that GCW is using the Hammerstein Ballroom, and Hammerstein Ballroom hasn't seen anything in many years like it has with ECW, and those folks there at the Hammerstein Ballroom are going to be in for a real treat when it comes there. And those folks, they're going to love Nick Gage, John Moxley, all the wrestlers. Like if Moxley or Gage wrestles on that card, they're going to love Mox and Gage, and they're going to love the whole show all the way. And Hammerstein Ballroom, I think it's a great idea for GCW to hold a place there because those people are hardcore pro wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And I can remember ECW, I mean, being there many years ago from the likes of Sabo, I mean, Rob Van Dam and all that. And I'd like to, even though this won't happen, but I'd like to see Sabo up here, like on the GCW card.
He probably will, he probably will. Him or Van Dam. I would venture to guess.
I can see either of those. If there's one thing we've learned to nowadays professional wrestling, anything can happen.
Can happen, yeah.
But continue. Casey.
Oh, yep. And another one that was also an ECW original is the Sandman. That used to eat his face with a beer can. And
that was always fun. How many brain cells do you think Sandman lost? Just curious. Anybody want to guess a number? Maybe we'll get it right, and beer's on me.
Well, I'm straight edge, so you keep that to yourself. But continue your point. Conclude your point, Casey. conclude your point, Casey, and then we'll toss it over to the king.
All right, GCW. I mean, coming back there, the Hammerstein Ballroom is great for the atmosphere alone because those people are going to lose their voices that night. I mean, they're going to go crazy at Nick Gage pulling out the pizza cutter, getting
that Nick Gage entrance is going to be as crazy as fucking Sandman was. I guarantee you. Because Metallica, the way he comes out, that crowd's going to go eat shit, dude.
The crowd was not letting this man get to the ring. Nick Gage embraces his mother effing fans to the point that some professional wrestlers just don't. He goes to another level, and you saw it at that Fight Club event.
He got mobbed by those pro wrestling fans right there. The pizza cutter, and when he gets ready to slice someone's face open, they're gonna go crazy at that spot.
Fucking wild fan base.
I mean, hopefully they don't have like pizza catering the event or sponsored by a pizza company, but that's a whole different story. King, as these gentlemen suddenly alluded to, and again, we've seen a massacre on 34th Street. We've seen One Night Stand. We've seen Ring of Honor Final Battle. How is this GCW event, Game Changer Wrestling, name implied, going to compare to those, or do you think it could exceed those, especially in this shared universe of professional wrestling, where again, anybody can show up, and I would not be surprised in such an elegant but immortal venue of professional wrestling. I would not be surprised to see other people part of this show that people would not expect. Your thoughts on this?
Man, when you talk about Hammerstein Ballroom, you talk about how it holds ECW's home. When I look at it, it's basically like this. When you got AEW, you have Daly's Place. That's what you can call AEW home. When you think of Madison Square Garden back in the day, that used to be WWE territory, MSG. With this move to Hammerstein Ballroom for GCW, it's really big. It's a really huge game-changing deal. And
No
I
pun
think
intended.
because exactly, no pun intended.
Good one, James. Good point.
Good
Continue, King.
But it's basically a really, really big deal for him because when you think about if you want to rank promotions right now when it comes to pro wrestling as a whole, AEW's got number one on that slot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then you got basically, and I hate to put them in this because even though they have been around for years, but you got to put WWE in there no matter if we like them or we hate them. They're still basically a big name promotion. I think.
Are we talking in America or are we talking about all over the world? Because if we're talking all over the world, I'm putting New Japan second still, even with Evil's bullshit. I don't care. I'm putting them number
right,
two.
But we're talking.
This is why I brought this. Is why I love James. I love his input.
Exactly. But we're talking about in America
mind.
As a whole.
Right.
We're talking about America as a whole.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're talking. WWE number 2 right now, but GCW has an opportunity to become that third promotion with this huge deal at Hammerstein Ballroom, and plus you got other working talent from other promotions that be going over there. Like I've seen Marco Stunt, Joey Janela, John Moxley, Thunder Rosa.
To get Janela. They have to get Janela on that card.
There's no doubt.
I hate Janela, but
no
Janela's too GCW not to be on that show. Like he has to be on there.
Janela would fit perfectly on that
Janela
card.
would fit perfect, exactly because he fits that hardcore style of wrestling that fits his lifestyle, that fits his wrestling style. Of course.
Yeah. As we were reminded last week,
and with Taylor Rossi by his side, oh my God, Taylor Rossi is going to be a star there.
Cool.
Taylor Rossi.
Taylor Rossi will be a force to be reckoned with.
She's the unknown factor here, and I'm very curious what else she can do.
Put her and Janelle on that card. I think they absolutely should be on that card. Who else could be on that card too?
Well,
there's a lot from the AEW side and the Impact side.
Yeah, you got to think about that. I can see Impact influence. I can see New Japan influence. And speaking of which, why don't we go ahead and switch sub-tangents here to those companies? Because again, Impact Wrestling, they have had a rocky run since their inauguration. Politics, controversy aside, I feel nowadays, though, this inauguration of the roster, the management, the title setup, everything about Impact right now, it feels good to watch and enjoy it week by week. And now they celebrate their biggest event of the year this coming Saturday night from Las Vegas on pay-per-view, 10 Standard Time. Bound for Glory.
Real quick,
we got
Casey, I think it's hold on. No, I think Casey's trying to say something.
Go ahead, Casey.
You know what's a damn shame? I just thought of this name. That would have been perfect for that GCW show if he didn't get injured. Sammy Callahan.
Oh yeah.
That is a guy.
You realize they could have fucking main evented Janela and Mox on that card for the title too.
You could have done it.
Yes, they could have. That was blown.
God damn it.
Why we express these type of concerns, because at the end of the day, first the rest of the people too, I do want to give a shout out to, of course, Killer Kelly, who's taking care of herself now when even her opponents acknowledge you haven't been necessarily breathing properly. All right. Her nose has always been like a situation. I wish the best for Killer Kelly and continued efforts to get healthy again. Can't wait to see who she kicks in the face and suplexes next. And if you haven't watched her match with Roxy or Masha Slamovich or even Kylie Ray since her return back to professional wrestling here, especially in the States in 2021, please go back and watch those events. You can find them on Watch Wrestling Online, Dailymotion, YouTube, you name it. Roxy, damn, she clocked her. Jesus, I want a round 2 of her. Roxy definitely is a future top star professional wrestling. Congrats to her, by the way, on winning the Women of Honor Women's Championship. But going back to what I was saying earlier, Impact Wrestling, their biggest event of the year, this coming Saturday, and everybody's invited and involved, from AAA to Bullet Club to NJPW to AEW. We have Bound for Glory, and we know we got La Virtuosa. Long may she reign. Deonna Purrazzo taking on Hardcore Country Mickey James. This has been building since the NWA Empowered thing and only escalated since. We got the man who wants to outwork everyone versus the walking weapon and a man himself that will challenge that work ethic, in my opinion, Josh Alexander. We got a triple threat for the X Division title with ELP, Trey Miguel, and Steve Macklin. A call your shot gauntlet where we now know that W. Morrissey will enter number 20, but Chris Sabin will enter number 1. And what a match for Chris Sabin and freaking Chris Bay this past Thursday. That was fucking amazing. We also know we will have the Impact Tag Team Championships defended by your brothers, the Good Brothers. Of course, they'll be facing either Finn Juice or Bullet Club. And we also have the Knockouts Tag Team Championships where Decay will take on, and this is why I love saying it, the Inspiration making their Impact Wrestling debut. It's going to be a phenomenal show, and who knows what else might happen. And apparently, rumor has
if you order on pay-per-view now, they will actually wear latex and not be chewed out by Vince this time.
Again, folks, James will tell you like it is, and that's why I love he's on this forum. Thank you, James. That being said, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Impact Wrestling and Bound for Glory. I want to hear your guys' predictions or expectations, who you think might show up, what could be our biggest shocker or surprise of the night, and how is your overall interest and investment towards this pay-per-view? Criticism aside towards certain talent, King, and you and I could debate about this probably to the day either one of us no longer watch professional wrestling. So that being said, I want to start with you on this. Give me your thoughts in the most constructive way possible towards the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. What's your take?
Like from what I've already known when it was first announced during Slammiversary, I was already set when I see what y'all see right here as my background. I was already hooked from the beginning because I like to see this pro wrestling shared universe get expanded to pay-per-view, such as Bound for Glory. I like that. Yeah. It has more promotions involved. It has your talent involved in certain promotions, like it impacts Bound for Glory. Except, like, say for example, Christian Cage and Josh Alexander. Christian Cage is an AEW talent, but he was also known as an Impact star during his first left of the WWE and became what I think that TNA at the time used him correctly, that WWE only knew him as a tag team specialist. But Christian knew that he could develop his career to even more than just a tag team specialist. He wanted to see if he could make it out on his own, and which he did during his first run in TNA.
Yes.
And when he came back, when he came back to WWE, I was like, okay, let's utilize what he did in TNA. Let's make him a world champ, but not be effective like Impact was. And which they did. They gave him 2 reigns, but the only good rivalry he had was Orton in WWE.
And that was the only rivalry. There was no other rivalry. All they did was put him in a fucking match and a program with Orton every goddamn week for like the last 6 months. And everybody says, oh, that feud's great. The only good thing about it were the pay-per-view matches. And the last good thing about that was the SummerSlam match. And Christian couldn't win because he was a fluke champion, which is exactly how they booked him. And it was fucking dumb. Anyway, continue.
James Cornette, everybody. James Cornette.
Cornette. But anyway.
King, continue.
Don't get me started on that fuckhead, by the way. Jesus
right. But and it comes full circle with him holding the Impact title with Kenny, which basically, I felt like it was well deserved. I wasn't for it at first, but I grew into it, and I like Christian as champion. Him and Josh Alexander will have a classic match.
Oh,
now,
it's going to be so good.
Now, he got his rant out the way. I'm going to get mine out the way real quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to shot your ass when you're done with this. So you best bring your best shot.
So you mean to tell me that basically this team from WWE can just walks in here to Impact and say, "Oh, I wear latex. I can get a knockout tag team title shot. I'm Cassie Lee. I'm JC McKay.
Okay.
We were supposed to be the greatest tag team in the women. No. First of all, they should have never beat Bailey and Sasha at WrestleMania for those tag team titles. Because
Excuse me.
No. Yes,
Hold on.
I went there. I went there.
Wait, all right, hold on, because I have a
going.
feeling, I have a big feeling that there's a lot of people that are against the inspirations. Can I throw something out there?
Proceed.
You've already been doing it, so go for it.
If I by the way, I don't hate the inspirations, be honest with you, but seriously, I agree that this is really dumb, but if not them, who else they got?
Yeah, think about that.
What division do they have? Seriously,
Impact
seriously,
Wrestling
guys,
is
think
the
about
leading
that.
company that respects and knows how to appreciate and showcase women's tag team wrestling. This is a former tag team championship team, legitimately 15 years friendship and experience.
Right.
This makes sense.
It does make sense. And I also have to point out, it comes down to, okay, we're sharing the world of pro wrestling, right? They need to get the rest of NWA's division involved because holy shit, their division's lacking too. Both divisions
Exactly.
suck.
Segway.
Suck. It's bad, dude. Hell, make teams in AEW if you have to. Like, I don't care. You need teams. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. First off, they broke up 2 teams right off the bat. Didn't they just break up Kimberly and what was her name? Susan? They already broke them up?
No.
Dude,
Have you
they're
watched
still
wrestling?
together.
They're a
Kimberly-
family now, and they're expanding
Kimberly is
with
teaming with
returning
Brandy
Brandy
Lauren.
Lauren.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So there's that, I guess. But Brandy Lauren's basically a rookie. So, like, the fuck.
Yeah, at least, hey,
And-
here's what I like about Impact Wrestling. One word, ambition. A lot of those
Right.
wrestlers there, they are rookies, but the way they utilize them in various ways in matches and storytelling, that is the strength of Impact Wrestling, where nobody on the roster feels overexposed or an afterthought. The biggest flaw in Impact Wrestling, and I talk about this all the time, shout out to Talk Absolutely Nothing About Impact Wrestling, is literally the marketing, the advertising. It's not that well known or exposed. They have all these mediums, of course, with YouTube now, which I am an ultimate insider, and I love watching Impact Wrestling commercial free, even if it's 30 minutes after it actually starts. They have this connected, dedicated fan base that appreciates what Impact Wrestling does and is. And honestly, when you look at women's professional wrestling, if you want to try and rank promotions, non-all women that book it, respect it, and showcase it to the highest of its ability, Impact is the top.
It's always been Impact. Impact's been better than WoW ever was, and that's a shoot. Like they've been at the forefront of women's wrestling since 2006, and that hasn't changed since. Like they've always respected
the continued work that Gil Kim and now Mickie James influences.
Now, with that said, we still have to go back to that reasonable criticism. They don't have enough tag teams, and considering that you have this forbidden door and this revolving door of talent to come through, that shouldn't be a thing anymore. How many teams? Seriously, how many teams could you make right now with the addition of Bushiroad, AEW, AAA, and NWA right now, and put them on the Impact Knockouts tag roster?
I get what you're saying, but again, when you think about this shared universe, it's not about bringing everybody else in, but it's about including everyone. I feel that the inspiration is just the start of it, because again, they are an experienced tag team.
That's fair.
They are a veteran tag team. You cannot deny that, no matter how much King can't stand it. And King,
I was about to say, because I'm with King on this. That's the thing I have an issue with when it comes to King. It has a valid point there, so I'm gonna hold you to that, Noah. I hope that this is a launching point for that. I'm serious.
I hope Like,
I hope so
like, don't get
too.
me
Because
wrong.
again, the
Don't get me-
freaking Iconics were showcased as a fucking comedy act where once again those damn props on Velcro sticky strap don't mean jack shit. Women's tag team wrestling don't mean jack shit in the WWE.
If the
Which is
booking
what-
sucks and it don't make sense, everyone
Which is-
knows it's Vince. Well, that's me, damn it.
Like I was getting ready to say though.
Anyway, we went way off. We went way
Go
off.
ahead. No,
topic.
let
This
King,
went-
let King talk.
This went from
Go ahead.
inspiration to a freaking
Yep.
statement on the state of women's tag team
Exactly.
wrestling.
We
And I
went
do
way
want
too
I do want King to finish his point so we could talk about maybe some of the other matches because I don't want to be this type of rant-filled
Yeah.
environment towards Impact Wrestling.
Right.
So King,
Right.
finish
Yeah,
your
yeah.
thoughts on the Knockouts tag match.
Like James even touched on it and said, I hope, like, I'm gonna hold you to this one as well. I hope this really is a launching point, and I hope it does open up my eyes to see, okay, Vince didn't really use them that well as I thought they should.
It will. I'm gonna tell you right now, King, it will, because Peyton has always been good. Billy Kay improved tremendously. Never could show it on the main roster. Not once could they show it on the main roster. I
And when
saw it in
Peyton got
NXT.
one chance, when Peyton got one chance on the main roster
Yep.
to try to, they dropped the ball.
That's what I'm saying. You'll
Because
be pleasantly
WWE
surprised.
does not know how to make new stars. They rely on politics and they rely on has-beens and 40-plus-year-old legends and vets who are at the end of their game and can't do it forever. But as long as Vince lives in that past biosphere and knows he can utilize it because he has this, he doesn't give a damn. That's the reason why there is nothing fresh, new, organic, or interesting in the WWE. And there hasn't been for the last damn decade before you had Triple H's NXT.
And I'm glad you touched on it. And I hate to say this, and I really hate to say it to bring up this point, but I come with news about you touching about 40-year-olds and all that. And the news that Andrew Zarian broke this morning is that in January, WWE is going back into that nostalgic cookie bag, as in they're going back to Raw Retro Night. It's what they're doing in January.
Oh, because that worked out so well for them last time. Hey, you remember Mark Henry? You remember Paul White? Hey, how about that Christian Cage fellow? Hey, that went really fucking well.
All right.
Yep.
That being said, once again, this is the ATW View, all things wrestling talked about here. But again, we've already gone into a bowl of spaghetti that still is not fully organized. So, King, in conclusion, you are looking.
Isn't it ever organized with me?
Yeah, you know what? No, it's not. That's all good. But I try and restore order or keep some sort of stability. But then again, if I did that, then I would be as bad as Vince, and I don't believe in that shit. That being said, King, I will simply sum your thoughts up with this. You look at the inspiration based on booking, not based on the personalities. And I understand that. I look past that because, again, I see the potential in what is a legitimate tag team. And again, in my opinion, Peyton Royce has the potential to be even NXT Women's Champion, and they dropped the ball on that. So with Impact and this shared wrestling universe showing everybody that goes outside the W becoming something better, more engaging, and more happy, which is also the most important thing at the end of the day. I truly am excited to see what the inspiration brings to professional wrestling, not just Impact.
And I want to add,
tour.
let me add to your point here, Noah, because I want to also put this in King's perspective here.
Go for
King,
it.
right? To add to Noah's point, what you need to do essentially when you see a team coming from the WWE that you saw booked like absolute dog shit, you literally have to put that all out of your mind with any talent. Like, here's a fucking wild example, right? Not saying this would ever happen, but let's say this happens, right? I'd imagine it could because fuck, Strowman got released, right? Say Corbin gets released tomorrow.
Oh, hell.
If Corbin goes anywhere, you literally have to take that same approach. You have to block out the way they booked him for so many years, minus NXT, put that all out of your mind, and then just look at what they're doing with him at that current moment in that roster. Now, it's basically like, okay, they're a WWE guy, but they're coming in with a new fresh coat of paint. We've seen it with Moxley. We've seen it with God knows how many other freaking WWE guys come in with a new fresh coat of paint. You got to look at it like that, with no matter who the hell it is. That's my point.
Respect.
So
Great.
there you go.
Great.
All right.
Like, that's how I've dealt with it.
Good talk on knockouts, tag team wrestling, and our perspective as fans, open-minded, not blinded, or just one-sided.
You need
That
to hear
being
what
said,
Casey.
I think we
has
spent enough on that match. Now, all right, Casey, I already know who you're going to talk about. Chances are he might be in that call your shot gauntlet, and maybe that'll be the thing you talk about. But I want to hear your input towards Impact Wrestling. What are you looking forward to, and what do you expect to come out of this pay-per-view? Give us your thoughts.
To be honest with you now, when I look at the Inspiration versus DK, I think the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, are going to be two very different women in Impact Wrestling, because they are not going to be the same women that you've seen in the WWE, because the WWE fought Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee were both two pretty faces that were a comedy act. I mean, when you get down to it, though, they're not just pretty faces. Those are two women that can absolutely go in that ring.
Yep.
And the Inspiration in DK, I think it's going to be an absolute great match. And Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee are going to do so much more with Impact Wrestling because of the handcuffs being off them. And they're going to do whatever they want, because it's not going to be Vince in their ear 24/7 going like, all right, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. They're going to be doing what fits best for them. And they are going to, I think they are going to absolutely be fine with Impact Wrestling, and they're going to be bigger stars there in Impact Wrestling than they were with the WWE, because the WWE did not use them to their full potential. They seen them as jokes, and the Inspiration are going to make the WWE pay for them booking them as jokes, because Impact Wrestling is going to treat them right. Like, they're going to treat them like
and they'll
stars.
treat them like a fucking tag team that's not just going to break up for random reason.
Exactly right. And Impact Wrestling are going to see them as a good tag team, and they ain't going to be them annoying gimmick pain in the ass woman that you see in the WWE. I mean, they'll probably more than likely have a different gimmick and a different personality. I mean,
look at how they're booking the match so far. They just sent a letter in. They haven't even shown up on Impact TV yet. This is brilliant.
Dude,
that's right.
Dude, they're gonna be a modern day version of the Beautiful People. I hope that's the direction they go, and I hope that they go in there into AEW. I want them to win the tag titles. I want to make that very clear. And then I want them to go right through AEW and kick that fucking door right open for that.
Right.
We've been waiting for the forbidden door to open up.
We need to see women in the forbidden door.
They will be the reason.
Inspiration is my pick to win the Impact Women's Tag titles on Saturday. And I say what needs to absolutely happen is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, needs to brag about in a promo how there is nobody left in the back on the AEW's roster for me after she's beaten everybody else. And all of a sudden, Deonna Purrazzo kicks through that forbidden door. And we get a Deonna Purrazzo versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD match.
It's the match that the wrestling industry wants to see.
Can you imagine?
Match is going to sell out.
Seriously, could you imagine this for a second? A female elite. Sir, think about this. Britt Baker, Rebel, Jamie Hayter, and the Inspirations.
Again, when it comes to AEW,
championships at their
when it comes to AEW, They are the battleground of faction warfare, where every faction stands out on its own.
Yeah.
And we've seen how dynamic and free factions can be in trios. I think you're on to something, man. But again, we'll have to wait and see. That being said, we've only talked about one match, so I'll just sum up like this. I really am looking forward to seeing what Josh Alexander can do in the biggest match of his career. Is it time to finally be the face of Impact Wrestling? Or is there still more that Christian Cage feel he needs to do as the Impact World Champion? We've seen now how this match has gone from two men that respect each other to two men that simply want to outwork each other for the richest prize in Impact Wrestling. The X Division now needs a new face to reset it, and it will be either ELP, who has never won, I might add, a singles X Division or Type Cruiserweight Championship outside British Cruiserweight Champion. He had a chance for IWGP Junior Heavyweight, didn't do it. He only could do it in tag team. Yet he's won the Super J Cup now, and he's also been one of the most proficient and effective junior heavyweights in the world today. We, of course, also know that we got the Good Brothers, who right now they have had a stranglehold in the Impact World Tag Team Championships. You gotta wonder, is this the first sign of the Bullet Club Civil War within Impact? Will we see Bullet Club versus Bullet Club with the title change hands that way? Or does Finn Juice get it back again after the first time they came in and gave us the surprise, which I know you ranted on.
Please, God, no.
And of course,
and I agree with
we've been there, done that with Finn Juice.
And of course,
and by the way, in Impact, I don't know what it was, but Finn Juice sucked in Impact, just for the record.
I don't know
what it was.
True. I mean,
I kind of agree with James on this one.
What did they do? They didn't even have that much of a title reign. It was like the shortest title reign in history. Then they just put it right back on the Good Brothers and realized, shit, this isn't working.
Well, they probably wanted to do more with it, but who knows? Plans could have changed. I mean, they brought the titles in New Japan. They were acknowledged. They didn't defend them. I know, and not just not to beat them as well. I was actually hoping for something out of that. But again, James, the shared wrestling universe, the whole thing with booking and promoters, agreeing or disagreeing. Case in point, Kenny Omega, Triple A Omega Championship. It's a fickle web. And as we want to try and define it, we can't. And maybe that's part of the fun of it too, because again, you truly don't know what's going to happen next. But also, speaking of that, and talking about what y'all are saying, I got to talk about what I think is going to be my match tonight, and that is the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James, a former Knockouts champion in her own right, literally a Impact Hall of Famer. Surprised she has not won yet. And Deonna Purrazzo, who is one of the best, not just women, but professional wrestlers this last year alone with that Knockouts title, nearly surpassing La Guerra Loca, Taya Valkyrie's reign. So do you keep the title on her and continue past that milestone? Might I add, double champion with the Reina's title? Or do you give us the shocking upset and take Deonna to a different direction, maybe for the Forbidden Door? And do we see Hardcore Country crowned as the Knockouts champion? I don't know about you, but when I look at this Bound for Glory card, several of these matches could go either way, and I would not be disappointed. So I am extremely excited for this pay-per-view, which definitely is going to define the next year of Impact Wrestling. Also, who will show up. So that being said, Impact Wrestling, congratulations on your absolutely selling out, by the way, of Bound for Glory. I look very forward to the show, and I know your entire roster is absolutely going to kill it. But I'm also very
and a proper crowd. Wait, can we cheer it on? A proper crowd. Yeah.
Well, I will say this. There are those people that still believe that Impact Wrestling should try or should be in bigger venues than the venue they always use.
Dude, even if it's just in a bingo hall of 300 people, please.
I went to Slam Wrestling Live, dude. That was 300 people. The Skyway Studios, the Impact Zone, is about 300 people.
What?
Nashville.
Dude, that looks like 50 people. What? That's bullshit.
3 cameras, man. 3 cameras. It's a simple setup.
But I see an Impact, and then Impact just has like 50 people around their stage.
I normally see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But again, you don't get all the perspectives. That's why most of the time you didn't even see me, dude. There was at least a couple hundred people minimum.
Is there like an upper deck that I'm not seeing? Is there like an upper deck in that arena?
Not that
they don't show it ever.
You can go look up the numbers yourself. But bottom line is this. I'm happy to support Impact Wrestling, and I'm looking forward to the pay-per-view this weekend. And I'm very curious who shows up through the Forbidden Door, especially, again, AEW logo, Japan logo, AAA logo. The possibilities are endless. It wouldn't surprise me if they have a couple of surprises in the Call Your Shot gauntlet. But again, we'll have to wait and see.
Bueller, may I speak? Bueller?
Go ahead.
I might also speak for Casey and King too. Guys, we agree that Josh Alexander's winning that title, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Agree.
We agree with that. Yeah.
Agree.
All right.
We agree
All
with
right,
that.
all right, moving on.
And I will leave it at that. And I will definitely have a form and a predictions game for this wrestling pay-per-view. Stay tuned. All right.
Yeah.
And maybe my own predictions take on it as well. But we'll see. And shout out to Jeff Meacham Network. I might be working with him on commentary. Stay tuned for more on that. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move away from Impact Wrestling and talk about the bigger boys now. I want to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. As we know, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they've been reigniting their NWW Strong, New Japan of America brand. We've seen the tours now with Autumn Attack. We know we got the big show coming up in the home of Extreme, 2300 Philadelphia Arena. And most recently, we learned, for those that follow the network, the newest members of the United Empire, which truly is what it stood for. Not only you got Aussie Open and Rev Pro, but TJP right here after an incredible effort.
Oh, that's a good shout. That's a good shout, wrestling wise. Yeah.
That is an absolute. Again, he called him a killer. Again, he trained in the class of killers. Will Ospreay. It was almost like he literally teased it since showing up at Resurgence. Still, again, I want to see Moose versus Ishii again, but I digress. But here's the thing I want to talk about here first with the America side. Jay White, the definitive leader of Bullet Club. Is everything in Bullet Club really fine? And with Jay White still having the narrow-weight talent.
No, because evil ruins good things. Okay? Wow. No, it's not good because evil ruins good things and he sucks. Okay? Everything is very bad or something of that nature.
That being said, I have to wonder, how will things, the perspective of Bullet Club, and I'm just going to say this right now. I don't care who you call as the leader, worst member, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to call someone Bullet Club, Bullet Club is G-O-F-N-D. The deal maker is the OGs. As long as Tama Tonga is the guy that
I don't know why know why Tama Tonga isn't the leader at this point. Shouldn't he be
I feel the same way.
The top?
Oh,
and I mean this, right? If there's one guy that should really break away from all of this dumb horseshit and be the leader of Bullet Club, I don't know how you managed to make it work. It should be Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga should be the guy. He's the OG. He's been there for every iteration since it first formed. Make him the guy. I don't know. Because Evil, no. Jay White, I like, but he's been more of a standout by himself, and he's probably going to be leading the American side anyway, from the looks of things, with the addition of Chris Bay and all that. So I don't know. Like, to me, it's got to be Tama Tonga, because Evil ain't it. I'm sorry, Evil ain't doing it for me. Your finisher's an STO.
Evil has never done it for me since day one when he first joined it. He never will. That's never going to change.
You triggered King, because King will tell you right now his thoughts on Evil and Bullet Club, all right? We've been talking about this for constant weeks, but before I go into, again...
It should have been Sonata.
Well, that's a whole different tangent. But that being said, again, I'm just waiting for Ishii to restore what the Neverweight title is, that gritty, super fought, hard, tough championship that tests people's wills and jaws. In my opinion, make Ishii the Neverweight champion again, because since Neverweight champion was run by Tanahashi and the one by Jay White, I feel it's kind of lost a lot of its identity and prestige that I know it for. And it's almost like a placeholder belt at this point. I don't want it to be that. But going over to the actual Japan side, we of course are in the finale running of their Grand Prix premier wrestling tournament of the year, the G1 Climax. And as of today, we now know one half of it. And I want people's honest opinions on it. Again, incredible efforts and performances and runs by Zack Sabre Jr. and Shigeru Takagi, who came very close to doing what no champion has done apparently since 2000, losing on the stipulation that Yujiro caused both men to be counted out. And here I thought a double count was a no contest and neither man would score points, but both men score 1 point. And then I was like, math don't work, confused, illogical. And then, of course, we saw the finale where Zack Sabre Jr., he got bested wrestling-wise by Tonga Loa, which really surprised me. Definitely a standout victory for Tonga Loa in this entire G1. And the thing, this is the guy that took out the premier Tranquilo, pick an athlete for everybody here in this block that everybody wanted to face. Tetsuya Naito. And that says a lot. It's almost like that karma came back to bite Zack Sabre Jr. in the ass at the very end. And then, of course, we had our grand finale match for the A block where it came down to Kenta versus Kota Ibushi. And
holy shit! Before we even say anything, no exaggeration, the most brutal I am the table spot I've ever seen in pro wrestling. That splash was nasty. The table had no give, and he just crashed down on Kenta with all of his fucking weight. First off, great improvisation on Kenta's part, because I know the legs had to have fucking crumpled beneath it.
Oh,
and two, God, I hope Kenta's okay. I hope he didn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that looked like it killed him.
Yeah, that was the most scary spot for me. Again, Kota Ibushi, he's like Wada, he's like Bruce Lee. He doesn't necessarily think, he just acts, and in the moment, he still is like, oh, you're on a collapsed table. I'm still gonna splash you. Bloody crazy fool. In the end,
he's gotta be channeling his Masato Tanaka moment where it's like when Mike Awesome came down with the splash, and Tanaka was like, oh fuck.
When I think about, being vocal, I think about Tama Tonga, who's the most uncensored mouth in all New Japan Pro Wrestling, the good bad guy, but I digress. That being said, we now know the winner of the A block, and I just want everybody's mutual opinion on the A block choice in winner, because again, Gato holds all the cards of the booker.
Better than B block. Done. Very much better than B block.
He did. He did again.
Fucking Evil and
indeed.
Yano.
Indeed.
Don't mention that name. Don't you fucking mention that name.
He did it. He did it.
All right. TY. Does that do it better for you?
Yes, thank you. That being said, I'm tranquilo. That being said, Kota Ibushi, congratulations, but people were really rooting for Kenta here to pull out the upset and be, get his first. People were looking for a first here. I mean, I'm Suzuki going. I was rooting for Zack Sabre Jr. all the way. 6 straight submission victories in this G1, I might add. And of course, the MVP of the A block, always the MVP of the G1, freaking fucking Tomohiro Ishii, nearly killing the likes of Shingo Takagi and Tonga Loa and Zack Sabre Jr., giving Zack Sabre Jr. his first loss during this G1. Overall, though, they call the A block the block of killers. I think it did hold up again, and I'll give respect and credit where credit is due. Shout out to the members of Bullet Club in the A block, Yujiro and Tonga Loa, who fought very hard on their own right to try and really show out this block. But the A block Bullet Club wise, it was owned by Kenta, and Kenta was a GTS away from winning this thing. And people are just, I feel, fickle, some furious. Sorry, BCS, we're like. And some people are like, okay, Ibushi again, seriously. So I just want to go around and give everybody's thoughts for the winner.
What do you mean?
Okay that Ibushi won again?
Hold on. What are we talking? Why are people mad that Ibushi won again? What do you mean?
First
again? He's had one title reign.
It's his 4th consecutive G1 Climax final. Yes, it is history again, but people, I think, wanted something different. Think about this, James. Great-O Khan debuted. Incredible run. People want Tomohiro Ishii, believes he should win a G1 eventually. Tomohiro Ishii has never made it to a G1 Climax finale. Zack Sabre Jr., everybody was rooting for him. And Zack Sabre Jr. said himself, I'm on autopilot. I'm not even giving everything I have, dickheads. And in the end, he came up short. And then also, Shingo Takagi being the champion, people wonder if he could actually do it and control his destiny. I feel like people just wanted something different from this. But you can't argue that Kota Ibushi, in the end, he won it, he earned it, he lives up to what he says. I thought it was a good finale, though, and I think Kota Ibushi...
I think people don't seem to realize that Japan still has this great thing about it. Like, I remember when they had Okada beat Naito. I believe it was at the Wrestle Kingdom where they had Jericho and Omega.
Wrestle Kingdom 12, you are correct.
Yeah, so they had him lose, and everybody was like, why would you do that? And then it built up to this big thing where Naito finally got his moment, the next year, right? Yeah. And he became this megastar because of that. Like, this is what Japan still does very well. They're not going to just completely drop the ball on Kota after one title run, because people got to remember they cater to an audience in Japan, and Japan has a lot more patience than Americans do. They do. We know that. So when people look at this and see, oh, Coda again. No, it's not Coda again. It's Coda again because Coda deserves it, because Coda actually works his ass off, and New Japan knows how to tell a great story to where you could seriously look at either one winning it, which is exactly what they did with Kenta and Coda, by the way. That's what stole the show.
So here's the biggest thing that I got out of what I heard from this morning, when of course I was live tweeting with many friends in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Some people thought that Red Shoes was a bit too lenient with his counts. They thought those 20 counts when he hit 19, it's almost like he paused for an extra second, as if there was maybe subtle favoritism. I feel that's probably the biggest gripe that people did take away from this match, because it did happen on 3 occasions. At one point, literally, both Kenta and Ibushi were backstage in the entrance area.
A heel Bullet Club Kota Ibushi wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right, James. This is not 1999. This is not.
Dude, fucking make Yano the Nick Patrick of the Bullet Club. It's fine. Or no, make it not Yano. Fucking Red Shoes. I'm an idiot. Not Red Shoes.
Say one thing, though. Say one thing.
Go ahead. I spoke enough. Casey, your thoughts on the G1 Climax A Block winner, Kota Ibushi.
G1 Climax winner, Kota Ibushi.
For the A Block, yeah.
To be all honest, I do not mind Kota Ibushi winning at all. And thank God, because I was about to say, if Yano won G1 Climax tournament, I could hear Noah Foster taking off his glasses and
he wouldn't have been the only one pissed. Bro, I've never been like, just the thought of that has never made me more pissed off and simultaneously cringe.
Right.
Do you want to know the last time I was really pissed off in something outside the WWE? Because I can't remember the last time I was really pissed off, but that probably would have been it.
Yano, probably. Yano and Mox. It had to have been, right?
That might have been it, actually. Yes, because it was Yano that broke Moxley's chance.
I cracked the code.
that was my.
A Neo motherfucker.
Yano is more complicated than the fucking Da Vinci Code. But I digress.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, okay. King, your thoughts. Kota Ibushi, we now know, no matter what, it's official. He's in the finale. So I got to ask you, who do you want? We've seen both matches. We've seen both these men. It's either going to be, period, Jeff Cobb or the renewed return of the original Rainmaker, Okada. Jeff Cobb and Kota Ibushi literally faced each other back at freaking Dominion in a one-on-one match, and Kota Ibushi got the better of him. Okada and Ibushi, they literally faced off at each other against at Wrestle Kingdom last year in the highest of stakes. Kota Ibushi proved something that night, earned Okada's respect, but fell short. And of course, as we saw earlier at one point, he's faced him in a previous G1 and beat him in a 2. It was a G1 Climax opening night. So what's the bigger match here? What's the more important, needed outcome we need to see in this year's G1? Who needs to be match the match? Your thoughts on that?
Who needs to be match for match? When I look at Jeff Cobb has been on a tear in the G1. A tear. And I look at Okada. I mean, what's need to be said about Okada? It's acting like everything, it tells it all. What's there to be said? But in my opinion, my important match, I think it needs to go with Ibushi and Okada.
Yeah,
it needs to happen.
The story is still there's so much to tell in that story.
The story is still there.
Yeah, the story. It's probably the best story going since Omega left, and his story with Okada included pretty much.
And we all know how that series was. That was a good series between them.
What a trio of matches! My God. And of course that broke the Meltzer scale of professional wrestling, which everybody to this day will always hold something against.
Yep.
And that came into existence.
I don't know why, because it's like it's an opinion, guys. It's not like
it's
because
really is.
if your opinion if your opinion challenges even one other person's opinion who are so high and mighty in themselves and believe they're always right, it causes a shitstorm. That's the world we live in. Anyway, especially
especially coming from Meltzer.
Toxic.
Well, we're not
Especially
seeing
when
Britney
it comes to
Spears,
Meltzer and his
but
opinion.
we're not seeing Britney Spears, but yes, I understand what both of y'all are saying. That being said, again, Jeff Cobb, by the way, who also made history, he went freaking 8-0 in the G1 climax. Nobody else has ever done that. If he beats Okada, he has a perfect block. That's never been done. So right now, I feel like the pressure is more on Jeff Cobb than Okada. So I'm very looking forward to this B-Block finale this Wednesday. And of course, the G1 finale the following day. Of course, why not? On Thursday morning. And we'll see now where things go as we head towards the biggest Wrestle Kingdom in professional wrestling history. And God help my stamina. But I digress. A lot of crazy stuff going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And you look at the rest of the industry, just to highlight some other stuff, Ring of Honor, of course, rebooting their women's division. Great tag team match with Holiday and Chelsea Green. You got Miranda Elise. You got Roxy, who is defending that title across all the independent wrestling promotions. And now you got Jonathan Gresham, who's been the foundation since Ring of Honor's inauguration, finally moving up from Pure Championship to World Championship. Would not surprise me to get him versus Bandito at their final pay-per-view this year. NWA, again, they're going to showcase the women in the brightest light with a empowered episode of Power. And I'm very curious to see what happens there, including figuring out who Camille's next challenger will be for the Burke. And it'll either be Kylie Ray, Chelsea Green, or Melina. And of course, this whole thing with Strictly Business now having an envious side, Nick Aldis, and one Thomas Latimer. I definitely see that flying out because I believe the NWA does have a preview coming up, or it might just be a special show and they might show it later, but only time will tell.
Strictly Business still existed? I thought that ended because Royce Isaacs left.
No, it's always existed, dude. Adonis became the newest member and is currently the national champion. Wait, former Chris Masters, by the way. You apparently have not been watching the NWA. Again, I'm crazy. I watch wrestling 6 days a week. So there you go.
See, I would watch NWA, but Aldis decided to be kind of a bitch pissy. And so I said, fuck that.
Yep.
Since then, he's kind of humbled himself at this point. And Trevor Murdoch is the NWA world champion. And Pope,
he gave it to Trevor Murdoch, though. Like, really?
It's Murdoch.
You had the longest reign in modern wrestling history.
Yep.
And you give it to fucking Murdoch.
They do it because of their roots and connection to Harley Race. That's the biggest thing that definitely connected Aldis and Murdoch. Whether you agree with it or not, that's what the NWA did. I'm just telling you.
Dude, that'd be like if I won the NWA World title, okay? It's not visually appealing. Jesus Christ. Oh, the
NWA is not about that, dude. The NWA is not about that. You know that. But anyway.
Yeah, no shit. I can fucking tell. How many people could they have gotten to put the belt on? That would have been like 10 times better. They could have put on Aaron Stevens, for fuck's sake. Why didn't they? They had the Pope. You have two big stars there.
Pope wants Murdoch to enjoy his run, but be aware, I have a shot. And I will come with you.
Since Cody can't go for the AEW World title, he can go back to the NWA and get the title.
Yeah, that's very true.
MJF fucking take the belt off him, but no, Aldis didn't want to play ball.
All right, calm down, guys. I can tell there's a lot of frustration going on here about the NWA 10 pounds of gold and the way you see their current champion being portrayed and representing the belt. We'll have to wait and see who goes next. I think Pope's
you have the belt to MJF, for fuck's sake. He'll at least play ball.
Hey, I'm down with that. I'm down with the MJF.
Oh, same here.
Oh,
I'm down.
I mean, either MJF
champion MJF.
Seriously, either MJF or the Pope. For fuck's sake, any one of them. Get the belt off Murdoch. Why is it Murdoch? Why did Aldis drop it to Murdoch? Why?
James, are you having a Simon Miller moment?
Yes. No. Why?
The ups and downs.
Motherfucker, why?
The ups and downs with James Hubert on the NWA.
Dude, Corgan, why didn't you just give it to fucking Seth? You could have given it to Stevens. You would have actually gotten more buys on your fucking Power subscription, you dumbass.
Season, Pope, MJF, Cody, even Kenny.
There were so many options. So many options.
Well, let's wait and see what happens. At least the women's division has more potential, especially.
No, listen. I said that you had to be patient over in New Japan. There's nothing to be patient about a fucking Trevor Murdoch title run. Okay?
Again,
you tested my patience at
the
that.
opinions of one person
and committed suicide.
The opinions
and I'm
of
not
one
talking
person,
about the wrestler.
The opinions of one person does not reflect the group, but he is a passionate.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But still,
I just want
Trevor
to
Murdoch
disclaimer out there because again, James, you don't give a shit, and I respect that because I respect your opinion. You are your own fan.
By the way, I like Trevor Murdoch as a person. Before people come at me, look, I like him as a person. As world champion. Really? You could have given him the television title or the.
That's what I was about to say. Yep.
Like you couldn't give him like the international title.
TV title. The way they're booking that with Tyrus cringes me. I'm like, oh Lord.
Oh, there's Tyrus.
Yeah, it's fine. Just have Tyrus and Murdoch, the battle of the five guys. Great. I'm more interested in seeing that than a world title.
What was it? I mean, here's Tyrus. I mean, he was like back in WWE, he was supposed to be this monstrous Brodus Clay, and all of a sudden he went from monstrous into somebody call my mom.
Listen.
Don't remind me of that. Don't remind me.
I can give him shit, and he definitely is a political nut because he's on Fox News. However, I will say it was fucking pretty awesome when he came out with the NWA national title around his shoulder after the Punk debut because Fox did cover it and they asked him what his thoughts were on it. And he's like, I'm proud to be a pro wrestler and that's why I have this around my shoulders. So you know what? Honestly, respect Tyrus. That was cool.
All right. I'm glad we got some positive.
You still have some issues, but respect.
You still have some issues there, but you know.
All right. So we talk about
blind squirrel finds a nut. I'm just saying.
But I do. Well, their other sentence are heightened, but that's a science query for another day. And I'm not freaking Morgan Freeman. And this isn't talking about Into the Black Hole or Wormhole, whatever the hell it's called. Anyway.
Smell you.
Anyway, talking about going from the men to the women. What's everybody's thoughts about Camille so far as the NWA Women's World Champion? How have you been feeling about her run?
S rank fucking title run, S rank fucking champion right now. Probably the best women's champion in the entire industry, in my opinion.
Hands down, no doubt about it.
Dude, right. She's such a beast. Like I thought Jane Cargo could have been. No, I thought fucking Kayla Rossi still could be, but no. Camille's the fucking China. Camille's the China of this generation.
Yes.
I seriously mean that.
I can respect that.
I seriously mean that. She's so good. Her match, I saw her match with Layla Hirsch off the fucking chain. And her matches have only gotten better since. She's going places here in the women's division across all companies. In fact, if I was somehow able to find a way to politically get it to happen, I'd have her have 3 championships. That's how good I think she is. She's so goddamn talented.
I definitely agree. Again, she's had the potential ever since coming in the NWA. We were just waiting for her to finally be able to showcase it vocally and in the brightest light. She definitely deserves to be, and she definitely respects and honors that championship. Again, that's why she got the shirt, and I definitely respect that shirt. Camille is Burke. That is true. Ever since winning it off of a great previous champion herself in Serena Deeb and beating Thunder Rosa, who was a great champion as well, and successfully defending it now against Chelsea Green, legit Layla Hirsch. She's only continued to improve, be more confident in herself and her abilities, and definitely shows that she is a main eventer. So I'm very curious who's going to face her next. And again, it'll either be Chelsea Green again, but this time full hot mess. Oh Lord. Hello, Laura Vaness. We got Kylie Ray and we got Melina. So I'm very curious to see who will challenge Camille next for this title. I don't see her reign any.
All 3 of them are class, by the way.
Absolutely.
Like, think about that.
All three are worthy.
opponent.
That's what I love about this. All three of them make sense to go after her. You got the young, smiley, up-and-comer, everybody gets behind, in Kylie Ray. You have the pissed-off legend that she attacked at the commentary table, in Melina, who I guess is kind of strictly business or not. I don't know how that works out. And then, of course, you got Chelsea Green, who really took Camille to the limit back in Empower and came this close to beating her. So
Are they like making subtle? Are they making like subtle remarks to her backstage escapades in 06? Because like one moment she's flirting with Frank Miguel, the next minute she's with Strictly Business, but is not with Strictly. What the fuck's going on here?
Well, to be fair,
exactly
what one wrestler does,
exactly right.
What a wrestler does in one company.
Yo, if I'm Mickey James, I'm pissed.
All right, calm down, Mister. I love when she splits. Calm down. All right. Good grief. The original split.
I think everybody here loves.
I said it. I get it. The original split of professional wrestling is owned by Melina. Okay, and Santino Morel learned that the hard way. All right.
She's the go to sports, Melina. Melina's the go to sports. Gotta say that.
Penelope Ford can try, but she will never come close.
I do agree.
Never come close. Never come
I do
close to
agree.
the goat, Melina.
All right.
I will say, I would like to see them do a split off. Just saying.
Dude, I've been saying it for years. Eric, you came in the farm. Good to see you, brother. How are you? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, if you haven't seen him already, he is in Clara. He is the insightful one. He is the better of all things news and likes to cause chaos sometimes too. Representing New Entertainment is, of course, my friend who went to the original Full Gear, by the way, still jealous. Eric Brown. Eric, first off, good to see you. And how are you? What do you bring tonight for us?
Two things. One, this Saturday I'm going to Baltimore Comic-Con and no one can stop me.
Nice.
You're going to collect.
Earth-shattering news.
Dude, this guy makes the comic verse and the wrestleverse collide together. You realize how important this is for him.
Oh, yeah.
Respect.
Big time.
Anyway, continue.
Oh, there's sharing news for you all in case you haven't heard this.
What?
What is it?
In the wake of WWE's 30-minute loss to AEW, which everyone rejoiced and everyone was
Okay, so the news.
Yeah!
Professional wrestling wins! Professional fucking wrestling wins! All right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be like that.
Calm down, everyone. Calm down.
Okay.
Order.
Order in the chat. Order in the chat. Go ahead.
Please know that in this 30-minute FS1 versus TNT, Ruby Soho was the main event with the bunny against Roman and Brock.
That is true. Now I have to ask. Are we talking overall viewers they won, or are we talking 18 to 34?
18 to 34.
Overall viewers.
Oh, overall
in the
viewers?
30 minutes.
Really?
Ooh.
In the 30 minutes.
Can you also answer a question, because I feel like you would answer it, and this would change a lot of things here. What the fuck are the Fast Nationals?
I think they're the more accelerated version of the Nelson ratings they do. I'm not 100% certain.
He's
like
on
it's
a
just
few channels
Nielsen.
too. I know exactly what he's talking about. I'm not even sure what that is. I feel that's just channel.
So they won it overall?
It might be.
No, I don't. I think it's like an early draft of the ratings viewership. Like that's how everyone's been saying.
Because we saw in the Fast Nationals that the WWE won that, but in the Nielsen, I assumed AEW.
Yeah, and WWE won the total viewership for the whole 2 hours, but for the last 30 minutes of the show, AEW had 328,000 viewerships against WWE's final 30 minutes of 282,500.
There you go.
Fair.
Ooh,
By the way, that Rampage banged.
They also
It sure did.
We're gonna talk about
They also beat and later tied the demos with WWE as well.
Yes.
Good for them. Good for
them.
them.
Good for the women.
So I'm pretty sure TV rating. I'm pretty sure the TV deals when they come up in a few years are going to be like, "Hey WWE, I know you were out in FS1, but you got your ass kicked by the 2-year-old company, and you've been the conglomerate
That
for
you
over
called
20 years."
Pissant. That you called Pissant, by the way.
And not bad for a T-shirt company. 2 years in the making, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
WWE has already announced their plan to
I was
counteract.
selling T-shirt.
No, that would make too much sense. And it's great. But WWE is apparently, reportedly, according to journalist sites like Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer, take of that what you will, the WWE, while they're on FS1, will be having a counter plan in the wake of their failure.
Plan B.
I did hear about that.
They're going on. They're bringing Talking Smack after SmackDown on FS1.
There you go.
Without Renee and Brian Danielson, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who gives
Or
a
Renee
fuck?
Young.
Well, I look at them who they are now.
Honestly, the one saving grace if they actually pulled the trigger is Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman was the only one that actually made that show any.
That's the only reason that reboot was worth watching, because he was the one trying to push forward everybody.
How many people did he put over on that fucking reboot? Apollo Crews, who else?
A lot of people.
A lot.
He tried to put. In fact, he was the guy trying to okay, I know you guys want Drew McIntyre, and for good reason, but can we have Aleister Black fight Lesnar?
No, can't have that.
Can't have that.
No new stars.
No.
I don't know why they didn't just do fucking Lesnar and him on the Fastlane show.
Yeah, this would have been something different. Took a chance.
And
But
plus, it's Lesnar. He likes working with smaller people.
Actually, that's why I say, I know people say that's crazy that I say that, but after his WWE run, he probably got a big bag for this. There could be a chance he goes to AEW, because there's a lot of talent Lesnar would love to work with, I'm sure.
Well, let's be honest. Who doesn't want to go to AEW and at least have some sort of match where you literally could do anything and be yourself?
Mm-hmm. It's not like Lesnar can't make fucking good money outside of it too, and he's got enough fucking money to choke a horse. Give me a break.
Well, at this point, it's like, okay,
I'm like, let's be real. He could do that, but at the same time, you got to remember. Whereas in AEW, they were probably trying to put the leash on him. He can throw a belt at Vince and get away with it.
Yeah.
That's fair. That is fair. That's fair.
Yeah, and also remember, Brock Lesnar is not a people person. AEW is a organic, flowing people team environment. I don't know.
You know, I always question Lesnar is not a people person because of the environment he's in, though.
That is
could
true.
you imagine him in Could you imagine him in AEW and just Eddie Kingston going like, Brock, hey, yo, Brock, what's going on, man? And
no, Eddie Kingston would not do that shit.
Eddie shake my hand, man.
Would not.
Yeah, he would. If he joined the team tomorrow, and then he's like, well, this is fucking different.
Kingston doesn't act like that. Look at the
you guys got to remember.
He's just like,
Brock Lesnar tends to. Brock Lesnar, you also forget. Brock Lesnar tends to along with Vince. That's also the big contributing factor. They like to be hush-hush on ideas they do and not tell the rest of the roster. Money in the Bank ladder match anyone. Randy Orton getting his head busted open.
Don't remind me.
Randy Orton getting his head busted open and Chris Jericho getting pissed.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I now no longer want to see Brock Lesnar in AEW. Forget
I have ruined my dream.
Thank you, Eric. All right, well, that being said, that pretty much just leaves the one company that we truly do want to talk about. So let's talk the shit out of AEW.
Oh, wait, before we do that, I need to ruin something else. Karrion Kross is going to be going another repackage.
What?
Again?
WrestleVotes confirmed it.
God.
WrestleVotes confirmed it. This is what they're going to go with. They're saying, he'll still be a psycho, but he'll be calm and cool going forward. And also, he will also remain with his look, including his helmet and the presentation of his widely praised entrance, including the music. We're going to change that completely again.
It was Triple H. Of course they are.
All
remnants of Triple H's vision. Poof.
Still no
Wait,
right?
Hold on.
So,
he's gonna be cool or whatever.
Calm and cool, yet still a
psycho.
Wasn't he that in NXT?
Well, you see, the reason for that is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
okay, that's fair.
I was waiting for him to say his phrase or how you have.
I knew exactly.
Well, I thought his video frills. I was like, okay.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I wanted to freeze and be like. So, anyways, I was like, okay, the calm and cool collected psycho. Why can't that be Finn Balor? Like, so, like, I recall this video a few years back from the Lex Man, Just Alex, and he proposed, why not Finn have multiple personality disorder with the numerous paint gimmicks he always did, like bringing back his independent stuff, where he dressed up as different people and
because that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Oh no! And,
that's not how it works.
No, he knew that's not how it worked, but he means like updating it for WWE appeal.
Oh,
as best they could.
Because that's really worked well. Look at how well the Fiend turned out. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
This was before the Fiend, though. This was before the Fiend.
And this is before 15 million other gimmicks that Vince got his grubby paws on.
What?
God damn.
Censor.
Welcome to the Rant podcast, folks. I just listened.
Since I heard
Casey, go ahead, Casey.
Oh god, guys.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Hey, Casey, let Casey speak.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Since I heard this right, Karrion Kross are taking away that awesome banger of an entrance scene. What the hell are they going to change it to? Go Ninja, go
Anything
Ninja, go.
that doesn't
Go Ninja,
involve
go
Scarlet
Ninja.
because they're burying him. That's what they're changing.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be generic as music.
Course.
Jim Johnson talked about how music and the entrance and the feel in a wrestler, screw that, in a superstar WWE is dead. It doesn't feel the same. It does not have the same flow, vibe, energy, or grasp.
Right.
Hey, Eric.
Paul Bearer being taken away from the Undertaker in the early 90s. I mean, good God.
Yeah,
man.
But like I was getting ready to tell you, still no Scarlet, right?
Correct.
Pretty much. I don't know what's going on with Scarlet at the moment.
She's not coming, guys. It's not happening. Just lose all hope. And if she comes, and honest to God, if she comes, be like, who fucking cares? You waited too
here's
long.
the thing. Remember, they were also thinking, okay, here's an idea. I know they work better together, but let's split them up.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but also, did anyone hear about what happened at Tribute to the Troops?
Huh?
No,
it was a tribute to the troops.
No, not at all.
To the troops?
They did the tapings.
Yeah, I heard they did the tapings, but what happened?
Yeah, well, guess what WWE decided to do instead of thinking with rational thought?
Well, that shouldn't surprise me.
They did Saudi Arabia build on this show, didn't they?
No, not really. No, not that.
Probably.
Okay. Woo.
But Lillian Garcia came back for the national anthem, so positive. Now let's give away matches that should have been on pay-per-view. Roman Reigns fought Nakamura, something that was teased earlier this year, and let's give it away.
There goes that fucking match.
They also gave away a much bigger match than Reigns versus Nakamura.
Do tell.
They gave away for the WWE Championship Big E versus Ziggler.
Wow.
The story right there.
That is
Ziggler? Fucking dumbasses.
Remember, Big E and Ziggler have history together. You could make a pay-per-view match for that.
You literally could, because literally Big E was brought up on the main roster as
I'm gonna be Vince McMahon for a minute. You don't remember the history. You don't remember the history. You don't remember the history. God damn it.
No. Wait. James, you got it wrong. You're supposed to say you don't remember the history. Damn it. You don't remember the history. Damn it.
That's right.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. You don't remember the history. Damn it. Unless it's convenient. You don't remember the history, damn it, unless it's convenient.
Trying to do a Star Wars mind trick. Oh, Lord.
No, it's Men in Black.
That's Men in Black.
No, Men in Black's literally like this, the thing that, and he's not wearing.
Yes, that's why I did the flashlight.
And you also are
if
not
I wanted
wearing
to do the
flash.
Jedi mind trick, I'd just do this. Anyway,
no, I'm pretty sure Vince would use the middle finger.
Yeah.
Oh, for
probably.
WWE, yeah. There you go. Anyway,
there you go.
Look, the only reason the middle finger matters is because the inner circle does it in AEW. So let's go ahead and talk about AEW. So we already talked about how professional wrestling won. Yes! In the 30-minute head-to-head. Again, I'm just respecting the fact that professional wrestling is once again being enjoyed, acknowledged, embraced, encouraged, and overall felt by the professional wrestling universe, fans and friends and wrestlers, up and coming, veteran galore, you freaking name it. I'm so damn happy to fucking see that. But I like it. Secondly, that's good for AEW because that brings more eyes to the product. Again, this company literally just celebrated its second year of AEW Dynamite, their mainstream showcase. And during that time, oh my God in heaven, what a second year.
The roster is fucking loaded. Can we talk about Rampage? Because that might be, if we count the buy-in too, because from top to bottom, that may have been the best TV card that they've put on all year.
So James, I want to start with
their entire time, in fact.
I want to start with you basically with this while we're talking all things All Elite now. We had our first AEW Rampage buy-in. The main reason they did this, I felt, was for two reasons. One, they know that they were not showing the original product, the Dynamite show, on Wednesday. Because again, Tony Khan, he respects sports. I respect that. Two, this was I feel like a maybe proving ground or like a trial to see, okay, how maybe we garner more talent, give them more opportunity, and how do we bring more viewership to the product? This is the first buy-in. I want to get your perspective on this. How often do you think they should do this again? And what was your overall appreciation and experience with the first ever Rampage buy-in?
You know, I gotta say,
Eric, who's been raising his hand, will be after you.
I gotta say, obviously there was a couple things here. This is obviously a testing ground for them to go 2 hours because obviously they're gonna go on a different time slot. If I'm Rampage, I would probably go from 7 to 9, compete against SmackDown for an hour, test the waters there. I think they could get a pretty decent number still, even with SmackDown on network TV. And number two, I mean, as far as the first hour of the Rampage, like that was fucking amazing. Dude, you had Lee Moriarty and Bobby Fish fucking kill it. You had a pretty decent women's match on that show as well, although I wish it admittedly could have gone a little bit longer.
Agreed.
And then the oh my God, Suzuki and Brian. Holy fuck. What a goddamn clinic of a match. This was on the buy-in. The buy-in on YouTube.
For free, uninterrupted.
Yes.
Am I smiling that hard?
Dude.
I gotta point this out. I gotta point this out. Someone actually was a little angst. Okay, let me finish speaking this before you all say anything. Someone was actually against the idea of having this match be on YouTube because they believe that they deserve to have more viewership just for that,
which
match
is
alone.
a fair thing. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but I countered with, and then they agreed to my opinion on this point, whereas on network stuff or TV stuff, you have ad breaks, you have commercials, and everyone wants to hate the picture-in-picture and whatnot because that's more over than the women's division beyond Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa.
You had to bring that up.
Yes.
And by the way, it's not even a full picture-in-picture. By the way, can we talk about how it's like a half picture-in-picture, and then they just go right to full perspective?
So
anyway, continue.
And here's the thing: there's no TV network restrictions, or what little there is nowadays, since Blood and Guts has proven that they don't care.
Yeah, right.
So the only standard they have is that you can't smoke on there. That's the only standard they have.
They got really angry. They get angry.
I can respect that because again, health has to be a number one priority.
Yeah. But you can showcase the amount of gore and blood and violence. That's perfectly all fine.
Freaking open up! Face with a forearm shot.
Now think of this. You're basically being told, but this is what I said. That's my ultimate counterpoint to the whole it does deserve to be on TV to be viewed by as many people as possible. On YouTube, you don't have the restraints of a TV show, and you get the full uncut, unedited version in its rawest, purest form.
I've already watched it 6 times. I can't get enough of that buy-in.
That match was literally. It was
God,
dude. You never thought you'd see that match again at the height of their careers, which
actually I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen next year if Brian.
They put it on right away
or something.
They put it on, dude. And I'm telling you, the reason here's the thing too, and think about this. Think bigger picture here in Forbidden Door. This was a setup this is a setup for a future Zack Sabre Jr. match.
We all know that's coming, and we
We
all
all
know,
know
that.
it's coming.
Yes,
Because he's
Lord.
Suzuki
We all
Goon.
know.
Yes,
He's
And
Suzuki
plus-
Goon.
And plus, he's from England. And plus, Tony Khan said they were going to do an England show next year.
Oh, and you gotta
Finally.
remember that. And you gotta remember this. Brian said, I don't know if this was Will Ospreay or Zack Sabre Jr., but he said, I'll only wrestle them in England.
there you go. It's at least one of the two. That's for
Punk
damn
and Ospreay, Sabre Jr., and Bryan Danielson.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me
Oh,
up.
Yeah.
I got it. They're there for 2 weeks. The first main event is Brian Punk versus Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. in a tag team match. The next week, they do singles matches for their main events of Dynamite and Rampage.
You're gonna break James with excitement. You're gonna break James with excitement.
Do the thing.
You're gonna break
Do the
James.
thing.
You're gonna break James with excitement.
Okay. I know how to ruin this. I know how to ruin the excitement.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck off.
Ever. So, I'm here to ruin your hide for another thing. Guess what just got announced? Guess what just got announced?
What got announced? What got announced?
WWE continues to prove that they're becoming WCW because Chucky's coming to Halloween Havoc.
No.
USA Network announced it on Twitter during this broadcast you're doing.
Oh my God! They're gonna do a Rick Steiner. They're gonna do a Rick Steiner angle all over.
They're going to do it, Rick.
Oh my
The sequel you never asked for.
Oh no!
The sequel no one asked for.
So
And
when
they're
Rex
gonna do
takes the title
something
from
that's-
Tampa, Chucky's going to come out.
Oh my God!
no.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
And here's the
no.
thing. Here's the thing. It's gonna happen. Remember the zombie incident. Remember. It's gonna happen.
I remember, James.
I would like to say for the record, the last time we saw Chucky in the wrestling world was WCW 98 with Scott Steiner.
Dude, that was the most
Exactly.
wild. Bro, I went from the most wildest form of emotions. Seriously, I don't think I've been in one instance. I was super duper excited like a little kid to absolute PTSD levels of horror.
I have succeeded in my evilness.
That's Eric for you.
Yeah.
That's Eric for you.
Eric, you're fucking chaotic neutral. You know that?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
If we have, listen, dude, if we had been used to it,
Glad to
who
hear
are
off.
you?
Glad to hear off.
They have to be
Glad hear
taking a
off,
piss.
Noah.
Seriously, they must have just watched the New Legacy Inc. deathmatch tournament. It's like, they saw Chucky. He's like, yeah, he's
Glad
fine.
to hear off.
Oh, there's a reason. There's a reason why they're bringing Chucky on board for NXT.
What? Oh, for fuck! It's NXT.
Yeah. What?
I said Halloween Havoc.
oh,
That should have been obvious.
Not my NXT. Not my NXT.
Shame, not my NXT.
Oh my
Get the
God,
fuck
in
out.
heaven. Are you fucking-
That fucking
Are you
Rainbow,
fucking kidding me?
Sounds
Rainbow
bullshit.
Skittles, fucking puked having ass.
Oh my God.
Fucking
in heaven.
logo looking like it's coming out of Nickelodeon, dumbass.
Actually, I just found out. I found this out. This is actually his third wrestling appearance. His second one was a WWE themed commercial on October 11th
Oh yeah, I remember
I don't
that.
count-
Yeah, I
I
to
forgot.
don't
you
promote
did
the
that.
series that's going to air on USA.
Oh
I
my
don't count
Lord.
that. I don't count
Oh,
Wow.
that.
Well, okay.
Well, it kind of be like that.
dun, dun,
No,
dun, dun.
I don't know what to say right now. Besides, what the fuck? Wow.
Well, let's see. Halloween Havoc's ruined for everybody, I bet.
Well, I mean, I didn't.
Dude,
come
I
out
wasn't gonna
Halloween to
watch
begin with, so-
regardless, but fuck me, has NXT
Yeah.
fallen off a cliff?
I was
Jesus
planning to watch
Christ.
too, but holy fucking shit.
Dude,
My
it fell off.
What a
NXT
clusterfuck.
fell legitimately before we continue with the rest of Rampage. NXT legitimately just fell off a cliff and then rolled down the cliff and hit a bunch of rocks on the way down. Somehow survived, and it's now left with ADHD mixture of brain damage, and that's why we got the logo we got. And
wait! You forgot one more thing. You forgot they also need to find a way to limply jump the shark.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Don't give them ideas. They're gonna do a jump the shark angle. You watch.
They're gonna do
Oh,
it.
they already. Oh! Speaking of
Oh
NXT,
man.
They're already doing it. They're teasing it with somebody that Ciampa, I think, or something like that.
Oh fuck.
Oh god.
All
There's
right.
a shark in NXT. Oh my god. Anyway.
Oh,
Go.
They'll do it.
What?
They'll do it.
What, Eric? What, Eric?
Before I change topics, does Eric have one last thing to say?
So this is a weird thing that happened during the whole index moment with the honeymoon they're doing.
Oh, you mean besides?
Oh, what the?
Okay, James. This is the thing that was weird. So I don't know if they referenced it on the show, but I think they did a deliberate shot towards their own workers in NXT and the old system because they made a joke. Apparently, I'm not sure. I haven't saw the show, but apparently the joke was that there are quote no little indie wrestlers on in the future.
Oh, you mean so Gargano's going then? Is what
They made this joke a while back. I don't know if this is a joke on the actual show, but they seem like I read this on FIFO, but apparently there was a joke or something where it says no little indie wrestlers are in the future.
Okay.
And I was like, I see.
Right.
So Tommaso Ciampa, you're top rating NXT champion. How do you feel about the fact that-
WWE's fucking humor is equivalent to fucking getting AIDS from a prostitute, okay?
Harsh. Harsh.
Hey! That was
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's
you
a
might not
fucking
be.
rough example, but it's true. It's the roughest I can think of.
Hey, you're not wrong, bro. You are not wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all, man.
That's a horrible visual, though. Jesus.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
but
just like the WWE. Back to AEW. Yeah.
Okay,
please.
so
Yo,
Eric,
go
thank you
back.
for break.
Also, two things.
Go for it.
Oh no.
We have to
Bret
go.
Hart decided-
Eric is all out. Then we go to
No.
AEW. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh no, the second part is AEW related.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Okay.
The
Oh,
first
thank
part
God.
is that Bret Hart decides to recalls drawing wrestlers having multiple relations in the locker room blackboard. Bret Hart said this. He recalls drawing them.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. There's relationships in the locker room, so like he drew
But
them.
no. He says Bret Hart recalls drawing wrestler. I would say it, but let's just say this. It's more like the olden days where there were multiple women and men.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He drew this stuff apparently on the blackboard of his fellow wrestlers in compromising scenarios.
Oh.
Bret Hart, everyone.
Wait. So you're telling me he ratted?
He drew on the
cheaters
blackboard wrestlers doing very disturbing scenarios that looks like they're in the olden days of medieval times.
Wow.
All right.
Bret the Hitman
I think
Hart.
I think Brett's just a little bit fucked. Just a little bit.
I mean, when you work for Vince McMahon, as long as he has, I can see why.
And, all right, what's the AEW news?
Okay, Brian Cage revealed something.
Ooh.
What would have happened had he re-signed with Impact and not joined AEW? And this
Go ahead.
guy shows how intrigued by the AEW prospect he was at the time. I don't know if he still is now. There's a mixed signals I'm getting from him these days.
Yeah.
But he admitted
mainly from his wife. We know he's fine with his spot in AEW.
All right, calm down.
But
go ahead, Eric.
Brian Cage admits that throwing away the Impact contract, had he stayed, he would have been the one to dethrone Tessa Blanchard.
That wouldn't surprise me. They're friends. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. That wouldn't surprise me one bit.
But
That one
the
was
fact that
fun.
he gave up being world champion in Impact to go to AEW kind of says something, I think.
He probably should have stayed because he probably would have showed up on Impact anyway, to be honest.
Well,
I mean,
again, we got to thank Kenny Omega for that, by the way. Happy recent birthday, of course, to by God, Kenny Omega. Because again,
it's his birthday.
No, it was a couple of days ago. It was Kenny Omega's idea to do the Impact thing in the first place.
Yep.
Oh, good for him. So it's
He
his birthday.
pitched it to
It was
Tony
his birthday
Khan.
on Saturday.
Well, yeah, and of course Tony Khan recently celebrated the birthday too.
And he celebrated with the beatdown. Happy birthday to you, Mudhole Stomp. Happy birthday to you, Mudhole Stomp.
Omega needed. Beat the crap out of this.
Another AEW thing got mentioned.
Yay! I like AEW.
I like this news. I like these news.
Guess what? Apparently AEW did for four of their top young talent.
Go ahead.
What they do?
They decide to reference all Japan Pro Wrestling, if I got the right promotion name right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Four Pillars of Heaven, where All Japan had giant Baba build a promotion around 4 people.
Bueller, I know who they are. MJF, Darby, Jungle Boy, and who's the other? Simi Guevara. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
They have been AEW has declared them the 4 pillars of AEW. And Darby said, us 4 are very hungry.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell all 4 of them are. Sammy Guevara right now, he's still a guy that wants to take on the world. MJF, he's ready to piss anybody off and have any match. Darby Allin, again, he said he is AEW for life until death. And Jungle Boy.
I'm telling you, all out next year, that's going to be a full way for the TNT title. I'm telling you, there's no way they're not doing that next year. If they're already building it like this subtly on social media, that's happening.
Also, to help you relieve the tension of WWE, here's another humiliating moment for WWE and a win for AEW.
Oh, so they get shit on. Okay, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Remember that big venue that AEW is gonna have, and WWE then wanted to preemptively strike with Roman Reigns after the whole announcement? And
the UBS Arena.
Yeah,
Long Island. There's been an update.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Slash the ticket prices.
All right, because people are cheapskates.
Yeah, WWE slashed the ticket prices. WWE slashed the ticket prices for the upcoming November 29th show at that arena, just so they could say, we did it.
Well, this podcast,
we sold out, even though we had to slice half our
Eric,
ticket
I
prices.
thank you for once again taking over the podcast and bringing in your form of chaos.
Also, mentally breaking James.
And you broke James big time.
That's not easy to do.
All right, let me try and bring us back down to the reality.
Okay. You can have control again now.
Yeah, and then you can interrupt again if James brings up some of that piques you. So, James, you were talking about so far maybe moving the time slot, and you expect AEW to maybe turn Rampage to a 2-hour platform. Now, let me ask you this.
Right, yeah, but
as far as the 2 hours go, do you feel like they should still stick with the hybrid? YouTube, then TV, or go straight to TV, live or non-live? Because again,
go straight to TV.
Rampage is not live every week. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, go straight to TV every week. Make the first 30 minutes free, like you do with Dynamite anyway. I mean, that's the same format they do with Dynamite.
Yeah, to a degree.
And then, open it up with the banger or whatever. Like, start it off at 7:00, end at 9:00. It's perfect. It's perfect wrestling time, especially on a Friday night. I feel like you're going to get better viewership if you do it that way. I mean, I'd even argued that they should have freaking put Rampage at the 7:00 hour instead of the 10:00 hour.
Well, it definitely would have helped me because it mean, hey, I got my wrestling.
I think TV deals are the reason. You got to remember, network politics are a big problem.
That's the biggest problem in television in general.
Like I said, if they were able to get to enough, there are 2 factors here. Dynamite and Rampage, had they been able to not have other network dealing issues, we wouldn't have a need for a Wednesday night war because they wanted to be on Tuesday night, but they were like, TNT said, oh, no, we have too many shows on there. And I'm pretty sure Rampage is in the same situation, so they were given the dead hour time.
Yes, you mean the NBA for who for a long time was supporting the fucking Chinese government for suppressing their people. Yeah.
Yeah, good smart move. Yeah, smart move, NBA. Smart move.
Yeah, really brilliant. I bring on politics into this, but I get it.
Great job.
Yes.
All right. So Eric and James, I feel have had enough clash of the minds and emotions. Let's get some other voices on here. Casey, your thoughts on what James thinks about maybe what Rampage should do. Do you agree with that? Do you have your own suggestion? And how do you feel about this past Rampage?
I felt about this past Rampage is I thought it was all right and I thought it was good. But that buy-in, though, Minoru Suzuki and Bryan Danielson happening for the first time, second time many years later.
17 years later.
Because 17 years later. That's right. And first time they wrestled was 2004. And my God, 17 years later, they killed it yet again. And Bryan Danielson's chest, I mean, he literally got beaten the shit out of by Minoru Suzuki in that match. And exactly, as expected. And Minoru Suzuki, if you're going to face Minoru Suzuki, you better bring your best A game like with you because Minoru Suzuki has them eyes that he's like ready to kill you when he wrestles you. I mean, is like so very intense. I mean, he could be the nicest guy in the world in real life, but once he gets in that ring, he's like a different type of person. He's a straight killer in that ring. Yeah. He is a killer in that ring. And Bryan Danielson, I mean,
Bryan Danielson's the American Dragon, by the way. This is not Daniel Bryan. This is Bryan Danielson.
Exactly right.
Right, James. I know.
Bryan Danielson. And when you get down to it, I mean, that match was a classic on the
This might be the match of the year,
start to finish.
This might honestly be the match of the year candidate.
James, let's be honest.
Wait till full gear, I feel. Wait till full gear.
All right.
Yeah, probably.
Right. 2 match of the year candidates of mine right here. The Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. That steel cage match.
I can't argue that.
For the AEW World Tag Titles and Minoru Suzuki and Bryan Danielson. I mean, those are 2 of my match of the year candidates right there. Because those are the 2 best matches that ever happened in AEW right there. And Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page for the AEW World title, that's about to definitely be on that list because those 2 are going to kill it come full gear.
Cowboy shit on full effect.
Yo, indeed. Cowboy shit in full effect. And the way I'm looking at it is I'm looking at Adam Page to become the new AEW World Champion.
I've been saying it since day one. The story that AEW has become is the story of the Hangman. 2 years in creating, 1 year in the making, because it's full gear to full gear.
Right.
He is the uncrowned champion. And this is the longest term in storytelling I have seen along the professional wrestling since Omega and Okada.
That's right.
Oh, no, there's another story.
Page.
There's another story.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
All right. Adam Page, when you look at it, he is the guy to dethrone Kenny Omega for the AEW World title.
No, better tell him like the president. I've been saying that in the any brand wrestling chat too.
Exactly right. I agree with everything James said earlier.
I got you. What other story are you referring to?
What other story are you referring to, Eric?
The Golden Lovers.
Right.
Golden.
That might be the longest running story.
Right. How long it took for Omega and Kota Ibushi to come back together as a team, and that place.
Like the overall history spans multiple promotions, so I think 10 years.
Give or take. Yeah.
Didn't they end that story in a very, you know what the sad part is? Didn't they end that story in a very sad but true way? Because didn't Kenny Omega betray him to go back to Bullet Club?
No, But Wrestle Kingdom 13 pretty much was the end of that saga where both men lost their matches and their titles separately. It was kind of like
but he went to AEW and then Ibushi said.
To be fair, we didn't know if AEW would exist. Remember, the Bucks and Omega said we're able to go together, and it was at the last moment Tony Khan's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting a wrestling company, and you all should come along." If it wasn't for Tony Khan, who knows what you would see?
I feel like we're going to see that continuation again because remember, Kenny made a Japanese tweet saying that basically implying that he left Kota there in New Japan to keep the empire running and he'll conquer America. Kota's failed, and now Kenny's probably when they eventually cross over.
The funny thing is, Kota ain't gonna fail, and we're gonna get a matchup.
I'm like, look at Kota so far. Look at Kota so far in New Japan so far since the merging of the titles.
Kenny Omega.
He's the one that caused it, though.
Right.
He's the one that made this merge happen in the first place.
That's
no,
true.
I'm talking about the eagle, the butterfly tattoo.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, that's another thing. All right, King, you've had the graphic this whole time. Yeah. You are a lead. I know you have so much to say because you truly are a guy that's all about all elite wrestling in more ways than one. You got the graphic, and we're not even talking about this week yet. So, again, subtly, your thoughts on last week's Rampage.
Best TV card, hands down. How they structured it was pretty darn good. I mean, you started off with Santana Garrett and Ty Conti, which I feel like the match could have went longer.
Yeah.
The match could have went longer, but it was still a good match nonetheless with Ty Conti ended up winning. And you had Bobby Fish and Lee Moriarty, which basically, if the people haven't had a chance to watch Lee Moriarty, then last week was the opportunity to do it because the guy can go in that ring, especially testing yourself against Bobby Fish, who, in my opinion, is basically a great wrestler in his own right as well. That was a good match as well. And then you had Brian and Minoru Suzuki, which Brian did say. I think he said, I forgot what interview he said that while he was still working for the WWE, he wanted to work with Minoru Suzuki in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
But of course, WWE being WWE, they didn't want to let him do it. So.
Actually, Brian gave an update on that. He revealed, there were talks in order for me to show up in New Japan. And talks broke down because AEW already claimed ownership first of we're the American partnership.
Let me explain. Let me explain the logic of how dumb WWE is.
Oh, gee.
Hey, let's offer them to partner exclusively with us. Oh yeah. So let's get rid of 10 partnerships for one exclusive.
Also, you forgot to add, it has a history. Also, James, you forgot. New Japan also could say, didn't the UK wrestling scene and Evolve get destroyed because of your partnership deals?
Not just that, not just Evolve. Look at Progress. Look at ICW.
That's why I said UK wrestling scene.
I mean, they're still doing their thing, though. A couple of them are, but I do agree with what you're saying. But before he continues,
look at what happened to WCPW.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's a big one. They killed WCPW on purpose because of the videos Adam Blompied and others made on that channel, rightfully calling out the WWE and their horse shit.
Yeah. I remember those days. I used to watch when WCPW became, that was Defiant Wrestling, and Defiant ended too. But I will say this, at least I have some sort of visual relic under the W that gives me that feel of I'm watching a professional wrestling product. At least NXT UK is okay.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but first,
continue, King, because we're still on AEW. There's still a lot more to talk about AEW before we talk about that. Now back to what you were saying. Continue, Rampage.
Oh yeah, of course. Did you close on that with Brian and Minoru Suzuki, which basically that's a dream match of its own right. And to think we got this match on YouTube uninterrupted, uncut, with no network restrictions, that was easily one of the best matches of the year. And like James said, a match of the year candidate.
Among so many others.
By the way, they followed it up with another close match of the year candidate, if not a full-on match of the year candidate. Fucking Seidel and Punk ruled too.
Yes.
I was really impressed how far
yeah.
Seidel went with Punk. Wow.
Punk and Seidel, that was a masterpiece right there of a match.
He fucking and I think Eric is going to appreciate what I'm about to say. He's probably already thinking it as I'm fucking about to talk about this.
Oh, here we go.
They had Roman Reigns come out like the biggest fucking dunce by having him say, oh, he lost a step or two. After this match with Seidel, he shut him right the fuck up. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane there, Saudi kiss ass.
Yeah, stay in your sports entertainment.
Exactly.
Stay in your sports entertainment lane. Stay over there.
You want to know what I
Exactly
thought?
right.
You want to know what I thought Punk should have done after he won the match?
Should have done the fucking. I thought he should have just done this to the camera.
Oh no, that's too on the nose. But he should have done a sequel to his "Yeah, okay, pal," where it says "Lost a step." Sure.
Yeah, just like, oh, I lost a step. Okay, here's a pick.
No, he'll just like hobble on one foot.
Oh my gosh! And then he called out Roman Reigns used to be, and I was like, oh my god!
I preferred Liaki.
What, Mom? And there's your burn of the night.
Also, you gotta realize this. Who's talking about more than the other? Roman's talked about Punk even before he came back.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
you want to know what Punk also did? You want to know what Punk shocked the world with?
Size coming back.
What?
7 years. What?
Oh, he decided to say this. I have a lot of fun memories in WWE ECW.
Oh yeah.
He told the brand they didn't micromanage because they gave up halfway through. Fuck.
Yep.
Oh fuck.
Yep.
I was a former ECW champion.
Yep, I remember that.
Yep, you said that.
Oh my god. Real quick before keep going, Eric, with the rest of the card because we haven't even gotten
King
to the
who
TV
still had
card.
2 matches left.
I'm sorry, King. Yeah, that's what
Sorry,
I meant.
it says that we kind of took over the
That's what
area.
ATW does. We talk all things wrestling, go into tennis. I love
talk
this.
about-
Continue
we
this,
talk
guys.
about-
I mean, again, I'm just the guy
Yeah,
that
Eric,
tries
you're
to
up.
leverage this. But King,
Yeah, go ahead.
finish your rampage retort, and then we'll move into Dynamite and talk about this week.
Let's see, Ruby Soho and the Bunny. That was also a very good one. And then, like,
you shut
it.
That was really surprising, actually. Can we talk about that? For those who are saying the Bunny hasn't improved, I don't know what the fuck you're watching.
What the fuck are you talking about?
She looked good here. Like she was really good in that ring.
That big hater. 16 damn years Ali's been going at this shit, all right? Been through Shimmer, Shine, Japan, Smash, Impact. Ruby Soho and her have clashed in Shimmer over tag team championships. I knew damn well these two could bring us a good match, and I hope it happens again. When you actually give them the time, it actually works out. Again, Ali's been in that little spot, though, again, the subgrade of the women's division showcase, and that AEW still has to flaw with, but at least with Rampage, they're freaking trying. Anyway, continue, King. Sorry about that.
Good. And then,
I'm
you
glad
had
I'm not
the-
saying what I want to say to Noah because they'll get mad.
What?
Oh, what? He's going down the rabbit hole?
Eric, let's oh.
David.
No, everyone shut up. Eric, what?
You want to know what you want to know who I realized what Ali could be capable of? You want to know when I realized what she could be capable of?
Oh man.
When she got killed off on Impact out of nowhere. That's when I realized she's actually pretty good.
Are you saying that she went down the rabbit hole again?
No.
I know Noah does.
This is a family channel.
This host is fucking cutting you both off this screen. I swear to God. Y'all, look.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I didn't make the joke. I was talking about when she was killed off on Impact with Rosemary.
We had to put it on air at least once. It had to
I
happen.
don't
Now we
watch
can end
movies. I can admit that was an emotional cinematic moment for me, and I did fucking loved it. Thought it was brilliant. Showcased the creative side and the actorial side of Ali. Heck, she could be in a horror movie. Put her in Killer Cat again in a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
But
No
and the fact I didn't realize the potential before that. So
I wasn't much of an Impact watcher at that time.
King, back to you.
I have no reason to be mad at you. I have no reason.
Sorry about that.
You good?
Also,
Who?
continue, King. I'm sorry. We're sorry.
You good? You good? Okay. Before Friday night, who was interested in this American Top Team and Inner Circle feud before last night?
I have been interested.
Not last, but Friday
I knew
night.
what
Sorry.
the hell we were getting. I've been interested because I knew what we were getting.
Like it was like I was sort of slowly getting that way, but I guess somehow that Miami crowd and the way how they brought the genuine heel heat and everything made me realize it was like, wow.
Lambert went to another level of anger in his portray.
Dude, it was
towards his
Vicky
hometown.
Guerrero.
Yes, he
it was Vicky
did.
Guerrero prime level heat, dude.
I gotta admit, even Cindy, who's been mixed feelings about this whole American Top Team thing, because we all remember Impact Wrestling. The way they're doing it in AEW, that crowd last night.
Keep in mind, American Top Team is also an MLW as well. So it's like there's a lot of ground on that Top Team's covering in
and
wrestling.
now we got another level of it because Brown Powerful joined the fray because their circles all together taking on all American Top Team.
Dude, first off, never mind that. We got fucking Junior Del Santos wrestling in a wrestling ring.
I gotta admit, he did a pretty damn good job.
He was impressive.
I was surprised.
Dude, he was surprised. The only thing he sucks at is the fake punches, but I'm giving him a pass because shit. I mean, if he actually landed one of those or tried to freaking do the regular work punches, dudes would be dead.
You mean like when Brian was killed for like 3 minutes?
Wait, what?
Remember when Brian was killed for like 3 minutes by Minoru?
Oh God!
No, I'm talking.
Boy, with that shot. Oh my God!
Yes, he did. Brian Danielson
he sold that perfect.
Yeah, that was so good.
His body was slightly twitching, but that boy was.
Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. If he tried to do a legit work punch, Junior Del Santos, they would have had the same reaction, but they wouldn't have sold it. Just it'd be like when Loki knocked out that fucking Indy guy at one time.
Comparing Brian Danielson versus anybody else, you can't. You just can't.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like, we're two different levels of sport here. Like, it's like, Junior Dos Santos was a killer in the UFC. Like, he was a fucking machine.
And I got
he was a killer.
They acknowledge all that. They tried to bring that forward to those that didn't know. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to what happens next.
Yeah, I agree. What were you saying? What were you saying, Casey? Sorry.
Junior Del Santos used to be a killer in his prime in the UFC. I mean, the guy can absolutely box in his prime. Yeah. And he fought and knocked out like many guys. I mean, looking back at it though, I mean, that fight when he fought Cain Velasquez, like in the second fight though, Junior Dos Santos got his jaw like broken. I mean, he got punchy like in the face. I mean, Cain Velasquez really took a lot out of Junior Dos Santos, and Stipe Miocic, like absolutely beat Junior twice when the first fight they gave Junior.
I think they were both. I think Stipe is an American Top Team too. Am I wrong? Could be wrong.
I think he. More than likely is.
What did you say his name was?
Stipe Miocic.
Stipe Miocic.
Well, again,
that's a really hard name to say.
Being the strongest.
Just say it in the microphone. Honestly, just say it in the microphone on Google.
Yeah. Some of those names, I'm like, what? Casey being the most knowledgeable on mixed martial arts here.
And Junior Dos Santos, I heard in an interview recently that he wants to do this full time.
Fuck yeah!
I saw that. He wants to do it.
Dude defended AEW. Did anybody see his tweet? Did anybody see Junior's tweet?
No, Roman.
Yeah, yes. That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was fucking awesome.
That was awesome. He defended. He's like, hey, you want to try to fucking fight my little brothers? I'll fucking drop you where you stand, you fuck. Is essentially what he said.
Yes.
Well, here's the way I interpret it. It's easy for a sports entertainer to talk about pro wrestling when they don't got to face pro wrestlers.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, not for nothing, but Lance Archer would still kill Roman.
All right, I gotta ask, King,
indeed,
why am I seeing a clock that says 2 minutes and 48.45 seconds?
That's how long we've gone in it.
No, that's how long Piper Niven and Shayna Baszler's match was just now.
Please tell me Shayna won.
I don't know the result, but
let me check
tweet.
because I am the king.
I'm gonna check too. Check too.
No, I will reveal it and I will kill everyone.
Oh, Megan's gonna throw a fit. Shout out to
Megan's not here.
Everyone prepare for disappointment in 3, 2,
1. What is it, Eric?
Let's see.
Survey says.
For some reason, the tweet's not showing up on WWE's Twitter account. They're just teasing Queen Selena.
Okay.
Did they draw?
Oh, no. I found a new Fightful. Piper beat Shayna.
Oh dear. Don't invite Megan on board. Oh God, Megan's gonna be pissed.
Sis is gonna fucking have a fit. Megan is gonna have a fit.
Bro, I'm having a fit right now.
Gentlemen, synchronize your watches. Mark the time. This is the moment where Megan Chiba is gonna go out and kill somebody.
She's gonna choke somebody to
and
death.
probably fall off Twitter.
Let me check to see if she's on Twitter at the moment.
No. Oh,
no, never mind. She hasn't been on since 4 hours ago. Sorry.
If this is any indication, Shayna Baszler plus Ronda Rousey are getting the fuck out of anything to do with WWE. Holy shit.
Oh, same. Hey,
holy fuck.
Looking at it though, Jasmine Duke and Marina Shafir are already out of WWE.
Yeah, they're out there. Yeah,
Duke's doing the gamer thing. Shafir's now called the problem, which I find very interesting. She's been doing good on her independent.
If Ronda Rousey goes to AEW, you best believe Shayna's coming on board, followed by Jasmine Duke and Marina Shafir.
It's gonna be Shayna first, then Ronda, because if Shayna goes, Ronda goes. That's what I'm
because Shayna was the one that
Jasmine
encouraged
Duke.
Ronda Rousey in the first place.
Fuck.
Jasmine Duke is coming. Jasmine Duke is coming aboard after Shayna because Jasmine Duke, Marina Shafir, and Ronda are all tight. Like four horsewoman.
Before anyone else says order in the chat. Before anyone else says anything else, I gotta say, all right, I gotta say this. Megan, you have friends. Everything is fine. We have your back. Do not do anything destructive to yourself.
I'll choke people out with you, Megan, if you want.
Guys, would this be about time to know that Noah's actions will be futile because I just found out how Piper won.
Oh God!
Let me guess.
What?
Roll up.
Sort of. More like Shayna had her in her chokehold for like about 46 seconds, and then Piper used her weight to put her in a pin, and basically was choked out in a pinfall, and Piper beat her clean.
So it's almost like when William Regal knocked out Big Show with brass knucks, and Big Show bounced off the ropes and fell on top of Regal, nearly suffocating the man, getting the win.
Yes.
Okay. Retcon from SmackDown. Well, people, once again,
by the way, nice ad campaign, not advertising Charlotte on the queen of the fucking ring, and she's not even in the tournament.
Yeah, I was wondering, why didn't they do that? When did Charlotte say, it's perfect for me, I am wrestling loyalty?
Because if anyone watched from Nate Paquette's oral sessions, you would know that Charlotte the person is not as bad as Charlotte being booked.
Yeah, but the Charlotte character, wouldn't she want to be called Queen Charlotte officially?
You would think.
But that's thinking, and that's a bad thing.
She's already the queen, the self-professed queen. It's like she doesn't need a crown. So it's like, maybe that's the way.
Well, Charlotte did dismiss the queen crown thing by saying, "Oh, anyone who wins, they have to fight me. I'm the real queen."
Yeah,
so
never
that
wanna-
basically means the whole tournament's pointless.
I never want to hear. I never want to hear Top Dollar talk about fucking shoe brands again when it comes to AEW. You guys got bigger problems and bigger fish to fry. You fuck.
Wait,
Yep,
wait,
let's
yeah,
not-
hold
let's
on.
not-
hold on.
Christ.
Time out. You're talking W stuff again, not my NXT. What the hell are you talking about Top Dollar for? We already know he can't rap.
I'm well aware. I'm just pointing
Wait,
out.
you
that
haven't
you
heard
thought-
what he was doing?
Yeah, you didn't hear about the fucking.
I
shoe
don't have
brand thing?
notifications. I don't live in the Twitterverse.
That's
have
fair. I don't usually either, but I saw what this dude was tweeting because it showed up in my messenger, and it was him. Idiot
What?
said,
What?
"You know what? We'll just say this real quick because it doesn't tie in with AEW anyway. We'll go right back to Rampage."
Well, we're
This
going to Dynamite
fucking
actually because
moron
Kim said
said-
what Rampage was, and Dos Santos basically we got the profile of Dos Santos by our MMA commentator Casey.
I'll
Flynn.
read
Casey
the
Morrow
tweet
did
out.
that.
I'll read the tweet out. Right, some of y'all favorite wrestlers only wear sneakers on camera to seem cool and hip, but in real life they rock Vans and Asics exclusively. But you're all not ready for that conversation and he has a picture of some fucking guy sipping a mug. Now, I'll talk about how stupid that is in a moment, but he only tweeted this, which makes it all the more reason why he wasn't just talking about shoes. Tweeted this right after all the good news came out about the Arbor Ash show and Tony Khan tweeted it. He was literally sent by Vince to go on the attack. So there's one. So he can't think for himself. We know that he's not only can't rap, but he's fucking dumb and can't think for himself. That's neither here nor there. Then some fucking idiot, ironically enough from GCW, Alfred, this is nasty on Twitter, said, "I love me some Top Dollar. Keep talking that shit, homeboy." And I replied with a nice little Twitter video that said, "Nice try, dumbass." And I basically just showed CM Punk with his fucking Nike shoes on AEW Dynamite. Yeah, Vans and Asics exclusively. How fuckhead?
You know.
Oh, hey, wait. There's more. There's more than that.
Oh Lord.
There's more. So people replied to this, rightfully fucking so. Truth Slayer, who I know on Twitter for many years, is a YouTube OG, says, "Some of y'all work for a company that puts undue pressure on women to get plastic surgery. Then when people point it out, you all get the memo to go on the attack instead of calling out your boss and right-hand man for it. But y'all not ready to have that conversation."
Holy fucking.
Hey, Top
God.
Dollar, WWE, Vince, get fucked.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Hebert, and go follow that person on Twitter as well. But I will say this.
Fuck yeah.
I will say this.
Not Top Dollar.
I will say this
Seriously.
as a non-shoe aficionado and knowing an all-elite sneakerhead down below me in my feed, Mr. King Anthony himself, as he puts it up. I literally wear Vans pretty much all the time. So whoever talks bad about Vans,
And that's another thing. What's your beef with other shoe brands?
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
What's the
just
problem?
What's
Just
next?
shoes, in my
You got
opinion.
Chuck Taylor's?
Who gives a shit?
All
What
right, this went
kind of
way
shoes
off
you wear?
somewhere else.
Wait.
What the fuck happened? Can we get
Well,
We're
back
no,
talking
into the
about
good?
wrestling. We're still talking about wrestling.
We're
I
back
guess
in the
that's
AEW
true.
route.
But
We're
how
back
about
Now
in
we
the
get back to
AEW.
Dynamite.
well, technically, it's not wrestling. It's wrestling apparel being bullied through sports entertainment for some reason. But whatever. I guess people don't have a life. You live in your mom's basement. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry. Did I say that out
Mom's
loud?
Basement. Good podcast.
Sorry, did I say that out loud? Anyway.
Oh,
So
Sarge
back to
Weather.
AEW. Yeah, Rampage. 2-hour buy-in live hybrid. Knocked it out of the ballpark. Love to see it again. And that being said, we also had, and we got another all weekend ahead. We also had Saturday Night Dynamite. I don't know about y'all, but I almost felt like they almost packed too much. I finally am glad they're pushing more in the women's division with 3 sub-tangents now. The continuation of now of Ford and Soho as Ford and Carol Hogan.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it was needed this week with 3 women's segments. They should have just kept it down to 2 because it really fucked the rest of the show's flow. However, I will say all that doesn't matter because left frogs.
Oh,
They're
God,
the
here we
new
go.
tag team champions.
I was
Let's
gonna-
go.
Yep. The FTR now has the NXT tag team titles, the SmackDown tag team titles, the Raw Tag Team titles, the AEW World Tag Team titles, and now the AAA Tag Team titles.
And that leaves left to get is the IWGP Heavyweight and Junior if they really wanted to lose the weight for it. They got the NWA World Tag Team titles.
Oh, did you also label Impact?
MLW World Tag Team titles, and then the Impact
Impact.
World Tag Team titles.
There you go.
you know they gotta do this. You know they gotta do this eventually. You want to know what they should do?
What?
No.
Once they get all the titles in their arsenal, except for one, there should be the ultimate tag team ladder match. The FTR challenging the greatest tag team in all of space and time to determine the supreme ruler of tag team. Myself, Broken Matt, and Brother Nero.
Yes, the Hardy Boys.
That would be cool.
The ultimate opposite to FTR as well.
Yeah, true.
And the
That's
fact
fair,
that
actually.
FTR are the Lucha Libre company tag team champions, the exact polar opposite of the AAA tag team championships
Absolutely
that the company
love
itself
it.
represents.
The ultimate Rudos, baby. The ultimate
Exactly.
Rudos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I feared they were going to lose these tasks again in AAA. But again, Lucha Brothers for 2 years. But I did not expect of all teams, FT freaking R.
This is the whiplash I had when I saw this segment. I saw Andrade come out. And I'm like, I can't wait to see Mystico and Dragon Lee come out. And then these fucking
I'm like,
assholes and frogs come out. And I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. And then I found out it was FTR, and I immediately refrained my sentence and said, oh my God, this is the greatest fucking strategy ever.
And CM Punk was the very first one who legitimately called it.
I fucking loved it. He became Tony Romo. He's like, it's just Dax and Cash. I could tell it's Dax and
You
Cash.
want to know this funny thing some people pointed out? The way their gear was presented, like the sketches WWE sent them a while back when they were still in WWE.
Oh my God, that's right.
Oh my
So
God.
FTR would say, we
I
get
never
a
cared
triple
about
threat.
that. Wow.
Yep. The
Yeah.
color scheme and
Color
the color scheme
design,
and all. I was like,
everything.
this is
So
a nice-
AEW and so AAA and AEW were like, okay, FTR, you get three things. One, you get to show that even in stupid outfits, you can still go and be serious.
You know that was a
Two.
Conan creative idea all day long. You know it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Two,
yeah,
you
know
get to
it.
become AAA tag team champs. And three, you get to beat the Lucha Bros, who just got a huge streak and also put the middle finger at Vince's face. We
And
win.
they're like,
Mission
Okay.
accomplished, top to bottom.
I'm
Tony,
so
MJF,
glad.
El Igolo, Conan, Tony, they all pulled it. I still can't believe that happened. Wow.
I loved that MJF also was the one who paid out Andrade.
At least
and
they
said,
explained it. Remember how nowadays you just get in WWE land when you're built in with it, you're like, oh, there's an unexpected alliance. What's the explanation?
It was just
No
a
explanation.
simple backstage segment, and they explained it perfectly.
And again, again, one time only. Something tells me this is not the last time we're going to see Pinnacle and El Igolo in a business arrangement.
Mhm.
Just saying. That being said, I love the newfound aggression with Sheeta and Dee finally back. Add so much more to the women's roster. I cannot wait to see how they
Yeah.
continue their
Loved
feud
it.
next.
Loved it.
And then we saw Malachi Black and Dante Martin. Now you talk about the four pillars of AEW.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
pillars have generations and history. And we're talking about a second set of four pillars. Dante Martin right now.
But
is
I
my
even
very
said it.
first. What?
I even
the-
said,
Yeah.
Dante Martin will be that second pillar, like the second generation of that pillar, the four pillars. I even said it.
Yeah, dude, this guy's fucking tremendous. I mean, I still I can remember so many spots from the match he had with Will Hobbs. That may have been the best big guy, little guy match I've seen in
I
years.
saw that live in Cincinnati. That
Years.
was so damn
It was
good.
so amazing. Dude, Dante Martin is a specimen freak of athleticism, dude.
Oh.
Absolute specimen.
I still
Unreal.
say it to this day. Give me Dante Martin and Ray Phoenix one-on-one.
Fuck
I
yeah.
still say it to this
King,
day.
I'm not sure which one can fly
That
higher.
would be I'd give a
You do
match
not
a
know
5
how much
star
rubber would be needed.
match. I'd give that a 5-star match. Dante Martin and Ray Phoenix. And all I gotta say is if that match happens Take my money now.
Motherfuckers
I wanna see it.
in the crowd are gonna confuse that ring with a trampoline.
Yeah, but pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
We also, of
more
course,
likely.
had great trios action as the Super Click took on the Dark Order in a wild, fun, furious, fast
This is so good.
Oh,
tag team match.
God.
Again,
So
the
good.
strongest
God.
That was
showcasing
fun.
of tag team wrestling in the entire professional wrestling industry, AEW.
And I've said it. I said this is
Yes.
I've said this since day
Amen
one.
to-
I said
amen to that.
I've said it that AEW has always got the tag team division on lock. They know how to showcase tag team wrestling since day freaking one.
Bro, and by the way, people are saying that if they reveal the trios titles, that it would be too much. But I'm telling you, man, they have so many trios with they legitimately
many.
can do a
They literally
division.
can do it.
So
The record
goddamn
defined
many.
wins and losses in singles, tags, and trios. It was like it was meant to be.
It's gonna be.
It's
And
gotta be
here's the
coming.
thing.
It's gotta be
I
coming.
have a recommendation because this has been a problem because you can't really follow tag team match standard rules when it comes to all the chaos that goes on in these trios matches, especially with the Young Bucks and Cole involved. My recommendation: make it under Lucha rules.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Like this would be so fun. It would be different. It would be literally just an extension of the tag team division. And by the way, they fucking need it. They need it. I'm telling you. Everybody says they don't need it, but seriously, look at what they're doing with every other division right now. You got a world championship for the actual company, another world championship for the network they're on. Same thing with the women, and same thing with the women. You should do the same thing for the tag team. But instead of having a tag team title, have a trios title. And that way you're covering a lot of bases. There's so much trios in AEW.
And every
look at-
tag team stands out and feels different and on their own.
Dude, there's so many factions that it's justified. There's so many trios it's justified. Do it up.
I
What do you got to
agree.
lose?
Again, we gotta wait and see. And also, of course, we had talking more about Bryan Danielson. A rivalry renewed and Bryan Danielson and Bobby Fish. What you got on your mind?
Before we get to that, I wanted to say something. Should we talk about the moment spot between the Dark Order and the Elite?
The greatest thing ever. That was so good.
Even King has to laugh
Spot
at that.
of the night.
That was hilarious,
Yes,
King. You know it.
God,
That was
yes.
hilarious.
It was.
God,
It was.
yes.
It's the
It really
it's
was
the
funny.
fucking
It really
perfect
was.
acting. It's the acting
Yeah.
of Adam Cole. Because
Yes.
like when it's the Young Bucks doing the stupid run thing, they get pulled out from the
They got
ring
pulled
by Silver
And
and
Cole had
Reynolds.
no idea.
Wednesdays.
He had his eyes closed,
They're
and as
Wednesdays.
soon as he felt it, he's like, "Yeah, shit."
Yeah.
But
No,
he
it's
was
like it was the moment. It was literally the moment where he feels the beard. There's like a split second hesitation where he's smiling, and it just goes, "Oh fuck! Oh fuck!"
But there's something else I want to point out. There's something else about this moment that makes it a little bit different.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What day was that match? Just to clarify for something.
It wasn't
was-
Saturday on
Saturday the 16th.
Guess
Saturday
what someone
16th.
wrote on the 11th on Twitter?
What?
What?
Some user said this: need a spot with Elite versus Dark Order where Cole is setting up the kiss spot, but right as the Bucks starts running to the ropes, they get dunked by Silver and Reynolds, and you know where I'm going with this. And they tagged Silver and Reynolds. What
and
happened
they
several days
literally
later?
Did that?
Did the spot.
I have
He foreshadowed.
You foreshadowed
Perfect
to Saturday.
foreshadowing.
Hey,
right
no,
there.
no. Sees, hears,
That
and
one-
listens to its fans.
Yeah, I'm serious, Eric. You just said that. I'm seriously wondering if now AEW also listens to me, because if they listen to that guy, whoever that guy is,
Let's
Fuck.
see. How many users? Okay, this guy has been around since 2010. He's 437 followers, so there's a chance they're listening to you. So
yeah, no
Jerry,
shit. I got some sizable fame. I mean, fuck, I got 4,000 subs on YouTube. That's
All right,
something.
all right.
I
But
think
anyway,
they might be listening to me.
that may be.
Oh, I can tell you one thing. They definitely sometimes listen to me because you want to know why?
Because
Go
you
ahead.
literally got a press pass.
No, well, I was given an offer, but I'm nowhere near any of those arenas. But I'm allowed to get to fully high quality and beyond 4K photos of the AEW matches and shows.
Nice.
You're not sharing.
What?
I shared a few of them. I shared the Kenny Omega Bryan Danielson one where Bryan is literally looking down and Kenny's legs are in the shot.
There you go. And then we know that
right.
again. Let's see what else happened. Him and that page.
Oh, I've also been in several meetings. I also been in like I only got to be in this once because I had work that day.
Yeah.
But I managed to be in the media call with Cody Rhodes before an event.
Nice.
I did get a chance to talk, but I was there to hear it.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool to hear actually live from event versus live from outside. I will say this: these media calls in AEW and these scrums, I constantly watch.
I do too, because you never know. Like there's something they're teasing all the time in those, all the time.
We also have.
You were talking about Hangman.
Trying to finish up what Dynamite had.
Hangman's promo. Let's talk about it.
The gospel of cowboy shit. Casey, you're a preacher, but I think Hangman and Page just brought a run for your money. Wow.
Adam Hangman Page, when you get down to it, that was a lit promo by him. Everything he said was just very genuine and straight from the heart. One thing that I liked about this promo by Adam Page was he didn't write this shit for his own promo. He didn't write this. He said it all. He said it all from up here. Up here.
It's like he's been the character, like he was living through the events of AEW and he just spitballed like it was actually him. That was so amazingly done.
And think about this. Here's a guy that went from being a high school teacher to one of the hottest acts in AEW. And the guy is no idiot whatsoever. I mean, he literally has a degree in teaching and all this.
Which means he's really good at public speaking.
The guy is very smart. I mean, he did not need a script or any of that bullshit like you see with the WWE and all. I mean, Adam Page, I mean, he delivered that perfectly. And I mean, Adam Page, he literally set that mic on fire and he said what was on the top of his mind, and he had that held inside of him and he just let it all out and said what he thinks, and he spoke his mind, and then I give a shit. That's what I liked about that promo.
Again, it literally was the story of him and Adam Page in a single promo, not promising necessarily a decision, but he promises to give you absolutely everything that you believe he has in him, that he now realizes he has in him too.
Right.
That's cowboy shit.
Adam Page, good promo, sir. Because we got the same things in common. We're both brutally honest, and we both love to drink beer.
Oh Lord!
By the way, I must put this out. You said he was a former high school teacher, right? And he became a success.
Yes.
Don't tell Matt Stryker. Might be a little bit jetty.
I'm not gonna argue that.
Stryker, and I am your teacher.
I remember that. Eric, you have a thought?
You stupid bastard.
There is something I want to say about the promo, about that promo, that makes me say, this is exactly what they tried to do, but couldn't do it right because they didn't get it, and they were really bad at it. Okay, so when Roman Reigns was feuding with Bray Wyatt, and pretty much the only good feud that Roman Reigns had at the time, that made me actually care a little bit.
Yeah.
Remember when Roman Reigns cut a promo expositioning the entire storyline he's been doing last week?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. That's what Hangman did, but here's the thing. Roman has a script. Hangman was able to recap 2 years with passion, whereas Roman was for say this line or we'll shoot you.
Yeah, literally, it was like every line represented the feel of emotion we had and he had at the time. And then it just intensified with an all-out empowered, truly confident in himself, him and Adam Page closing line cowboy shit. It just was like a growth of progress in the promo, literally giving us like almost like a one-on-one. We were sitting down in front of him. He was giving us literally every one of his emotions during every aspect of his AEW run.
Yeah, that's the thing. Whereas Roman was recapping what happened last week because he thinks everyone's an idiot for some reason. And I like to point out he wasn't allowed to be emotion. And like if Roman Reigns was being the Roman Reigns we have now back then, I'm sure it would have been different. But it also still would have been, you're recapping what we literally saw last week. You're not really telling a complete coherent story in your promo. You're just,
and to be fair, that company shows you the video recap 3 times during the show. So it's like, why do you need to speak it?
Yeah,
right.
And then when fans were pointing out this hatred of it, he goes in and says, "This is real life," and I was like, "I get what you're trying to say, Roman, but at the same time,
it's not.
You don't really
don't feel real."
That I was
Hangman actually made me feel. By the way, Matt Stryker also probably felt, and he was like looking at the WWE, like John Cena looked at him and said to them, "You stupid bastard."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's one major component that I think was the thing about this regarding the Roman promo and the Hangman promo.
What?
Yeah.
Man, I had it for a second, then I lost it.
There's one difference. There's one difference. Go ahead. Hold on. Mind work. Mind work. Jedi mind trick. Mind work of Eric. Please bring it back. Bring it back, please. Does it work yet? Is my Jedi mind trick working yet?
I had it on my head, and then you started talking.
God damn it, James.
Sorry.
All right. Well, maybe we can jog his memory while I just close the rest of the time.
You can continue speaking, then I'll try to remember.
As Bryan Danielson nearly broke Bobby.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Go.
All right.
Okay. The difference between Hangman and Roman are the stakes. Think about it. Hangman went from being this rising prospect, then he went on a downward spiral, depression, trust issues, alcoholism. Then he found friends, but he was afraid to let people back in. Roman's story with Bray Wyatt, here's the difference. It was having stakes. He wanted to protect his daughter, and then WWE was like, that's too interesting and too threatening. We can't scare our astute kids. So cut that out, cut that stuff out, and therefore you got rid of what was the emotional core of the story.
You know what?
Now it was just like, I'm going to beat you up.
There you go.
It reminds me.
There you go.
Hangman Page reminds me of a tale, literally the tale, his entire story of Johnny Cash. That's what it reminds me of. The way they're building this, but it's in a wrestling context.
It's in a wrestling context. As somebody who is a lifelong Johnny Cash fan, which is the Johnny Cash Museum, saw his story, his work, the emotion, the influence firsthand. What an amazing event and venue that was too. And literally the end of his experience is literally the very chair he sat in, where he literally composed, sung, and played that last song, "Hurts." Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what that like. It's incredible. Like it's kind of like that sped up, but instead of Johnny Cash, it's Hangman Page, and it's a lot more lighthearted because but it's still the same story.
Exactly. And again, this story.
I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if they use "Hurt" by Johnny Cash to tell the fucking story between Omega and Page.
They need to do that.
Awesome.
They need to do that for a video.
That would be
Do
great.
that for a video.
Yes, it would.
They need to do that. But again, you have to pay for rights. And honestly, I would think Johnny Cash is more expensive than Europe because Johnny Cash is a fucking country legend.
That is true.
Yeah, Europe.
That's true.
At the same time, WWE bought the rights for a time with The Undertaker.
Ain't no grave.
No, that
Ain't
is
no
The
grave.
Undertaker. So, but that is The Undertaker.
And that's the thing. They tried to use it for an entrance theme, so this might be a little bit different if they use it for one time.
Plus, it was The Undertaker, so they could probably say, "Well, it's The Undertaker, therefore he has special rights in terms of he's a legend," and people would say he's the Johnny Cash of wrestling. I would say. So
you never know.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that though to a degree when you think about it. But I digress. Anyway, again, Dynamite packed a lot. I wish the Bobby Fish and the Bryan Danielson match went a little further. Damn, that ankle lock though. That heel hook.
That was a great finish. The finish was
Yes, it
awesome.
was.
Finish
The finish
was
was
awesome.
This was good.
It felt like the match was
Very
picking
great.
up finally, and then
Very
they had to
good.
cut because they had to end because of TV time. Again, the restraints, like we talked about, the difference between Minoru Suzuki and Bryan Danielson. I'm still gonna go back and rewatch that fucking match. That being said,
I gotta.
what's
Yeah,
up,
go
Jimmy?
ahead.
No, what's up?
I was just gonna say, before we end the Dynamite discussion, one thing they missed the mark on, I felt like this week. I think we all agree. That tournament bracket.
That was the last thing I was going to talk about. Oh, how can I be so stupid? Because again, this is one of the most promising prospective women matches I could see in literally creating a new champion down the line. Anna Jay and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, getting personal when it comes to their identities in wrestling and their partners' progression in wrestling. And you clearly can see they're teasing Jungle Boy versus Adam Cole again. They're clearly teasing that. But anyway, go ahead and talk about the bracket, about the men's eliminator tournament for Full Gear, and then we'll talk about this upcoming week in All Elite Wrestling.
So
because they did reveal it.
It's just fucking. I mean, it was not as good as it should have been, man. Like, for example, somebody posted the bracket. I'm gonna go up to it and actually read it verbatim here.
I already got you beat, dude, because I got it by memory. We got 8-man as expected.
Right.
We got previous AEW World Champions. We got great friends. We got veterans of the ring, and we got some promising opening matches. And then you got these matches like, okay. We have Preston versus John Moxley. We have freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. The opening match I am looking forward to the most, the natural Dustin Rhodes versus Bryan Danielson. Again, another match I thought I would never see, considering how far both these men are willing to go when it comes to passion, intensity, and professional wrestling identity. And of course, the last match that's going to be a hoss fight is Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. And this tournament will begin this Friday on Rampage with Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs and continue into Saturday with Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. And I got to imagine this is the main event. Bryan Danielson versus Dustin Rhodes. That is your 8-man eliminator tournament for AEW Full Gear to determine the next challenge of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship after Full Gear. James, now your thoughts.
I gotta tell you, it's a weak bracket because it's so short and so. They say, and here's the thing: for those who are going to tell me, well, they had time constraints. Did they though? They have 4 shows and they have a Forbidden Door revolver. You know, they have a way to do this. So I'm just going to read the bracket I came up with because it literally took me less than 20 minutes. Ready? Let me tell me if this bracket sounds better. Round 1, both on Dynamite. You will have Bryan Danielson and Bobby Fish on the right side of the bracket, Orange Cassidy and John Moxley on the left side of the bracket. Just get that match out of the way right off the bat. MJF and Dustin Rhodes on Dark. There's a reason I'm doing it on Dark because you kind of want to give Dark a little bit of a boost. I'm just saying. And then you could also do the whole thing with him and Darby comes back and screws him. Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss on Dark Elevation because that feud's actually been going on a long while. So you kind of want to include them in the tournament. And I feel like Joey should win because that would be a natural opponent for Moxley in the fucking tournament. Malachi Black and Minoru fucking Suzuki on Rampage. Fuck yeah, come on. Josh Alexander and Rich Swann on Impact. Bastard Pac versus Andrade El Idolo on Rampage as well.
Which
is happening, but it should have been in the tournament, in my opinion. And Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Lance Archer on New Japan Strong.
I do like the fact you are incorporating the Forbidden Door because I do remember the women's eliminator tournament before Revolution. It involved the U.S. and Japan side where you had the tournament matches in 2 separate promotions. You're trying to involve more though the other promotions in this too. Again, but you're also trying to involve this in the identity of the other AEW products as well. I think what kind of helps AEW stand out a bit more, none of the 4 products feel the same and none of them look like they, foreshadow
Right.
the top product. When you look at Dark, think about it. Dark is about cosmos and perspective. That's the
Right,
reason why
right.
people like Condon King, Red
Correct.
Velvet, The Acclaim, and Big Shy Lee are now mainstream names on AEW and still working those platforms too. AEW Dark
Right.
Elevation, it's more so I feel like a evolvement.
Yeah,
to
no,
see
hold
what
on,
the
hold
wrestlers
on.
can bring here.
let
And
me- let me-
but I
let
do
me
like the
explain
fact
my-
Sonny Kiss Janela makes sense because you're right. That has really coincided.
I put MJF and Dustin. I put MJF and Dustin on Dark because you also want to get Dark you want to have some eyeballs on Dark, the new Dark on Universal Studios. That's the only reason why I put it on Dark.
The All Elite Zone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I mean,
So there you go.
All Elite right now,
Now,
they already kind of have that.
That's the only
But
reason.
I see
Anyway,
what you mean.
I'm just gonna run down the quarterfinals quickly too, because I did that as well. Brian Danielson, Dustin Rhodes. We already know that's happening, but I think that would be a quarterfinals match instead. Janela and Moxley, that would be a quarterfinals matchup. Both of them take place on Dynamite. Malachi Black and the Bastard Pack in a rematch from NXT UK tournament, the inaugural one, finally takes place on Rampage. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Josh Alexander on fucking Impact. Sign me the hell up. And that leaves you with two semifinal matches, one on Dynamite, one on Rampage. Bryan Danielson, Malachi Black, Jon Moxley, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Your tournament definitely has
then you still get
more depth to it. I do like that a lot.
And then you still have Moxley and Danielson for the finals at Full Gear, and you did it in such a short window because you have all these shows you can do it on. Done. Simple. I don't know why they didn't do it.
Well,
again,
you do
nobody
that
thinks
also
like
factor
you,
there
but
are
I want
there are
to get
talent
Eric's opinion on
exchange
this as he
projects.
tries to collide the
Yeah,
universe
go ahead,
together.
Eric.
Eric, your thoughts on that bracket? He's got pretty
Well,
sound strategy.
It is a pretty good bracket, but at the same time, you also got to count there are talent exchange politics involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. However, they also got to understand it really wouldn't hurt Hiroshi Tanahashi to lose to a really pissed off Moxley. They've been building up for a while for him to beat Hiroshi Tanahashi, and you know they're just going to give him his win back anyway on a New Japan show down the line.
Yeah,
That's my thought process. So you could do this subtle thing with Moxley beating Hiroshi, and then have the rematch on a New Japan show and have Moxley and Danielson. Same result.
yeah. But there's another factor. Hiroshi's the U.S. champion, and New Japan probably doesn't want him.
That's
to
my
lose.
thing. It wouldn't be on the line. But he
Yeah, but
But
they
you
don't
still
wanna
want to
keep
keep
and then he's got
the
another
identity
chance.
of the champion in defeat. That's what I think he's referring to.
And trust me, totally understand that, but there's a different scenario, and I think they'd realize that if he loses in the tournament, it would obviously be because it was a fucking brutal match and Moxley actually won. The whole idea that they've been building up to on all across every brand, right, is that Moxley puts fear in Tanahashi. That's the story they've been telling, right? So have Moxley beat him, then have the rematch at New Japan's Strawn or New Japan's next pay-per-view for the US title, and have Tanahashi conquer his demons.
Tanahashi already, he conquered self-doubt, beating Kota Ibushi at Grand Slam.
That's my
that
point.
could work. I was also thinking we could. I know this idea is kind of insane, but AEW would willingly do it because they're kind of insane.
They are.
What if Hiroshi defeats Jon Moxley, fights Bryan at Full Gear, but Moxley becomes more deranged and slowly begins his heel process with Eddie Kingston, and then you get to build up to a heel Moxley. Get back.
Moxley
I'm just a
Kingston,
sick guy.
Yeah,
I'm just a
Moxley,
sick
Moxley
guy.
Kingston.
And he's the GCW heavyweight champion. It almost feels like he's going down that route. I'm just saying.
He
Remember, I'm
lost
still
at
waiting
the
for
fight
when
and it pissed him
Moxley makes the
off.
promo. I'm waiting for when Moxley should make a promo in AEW or even New Japan where he just says, "I'm just a sick guy." Sequel.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying. Ken, what did you think of the bracket? Did you like the bracket? Is it good?
Yeah, let's get Kings and Casey's thoughts on this shared universe bracket. We'll start with the King.
Loved it because when I hear your bracket and I compare that bracket, I would have took that bracket over the bracket that they. But no offense to Tony, love Tony and love everything he's doing.
Yeah, I do too.
But I you should have got, like we talked about this a few nights ago, you should have got more of the Forbidden Door involved.
Yep.
But also,
Right.
Eric brought up a good point about the talent exchange, which I understand. We all understand that. But if you want to make the tournament more like something to fight for, to basically get that number one contendership in the finals, you could have more people at it, than just what we got now. Like 10, he's a good wrestler, but he's just a heavy for the Dark Order. Like we talked about. Hobbs is the same way for Team Taz. Heavy, good wrestler, but a heavy for Team Taz. It's an easy, predictable tournament. You could have made this more unpredictable. You still, like you say, could have got more. You could have got Moxley and Danielson in the finals, but and
the natural thing too is undefeated streaks like Malachi Black, they're probably going to be ruined in mine, but that's the beauty of the tournament, because even if they lose in the tournament, they still can bounce back from a loss. If anything, if anybody's proven that, it's been AEW. So
absolutely, you're 100%.
I'm just saying, I don't know why they didn't go with it. I don't know why they got cold feet and just went with a simplistic.
Again, New Japan, they got a lot of
tournament.
stuff going on with G1, New Japan America, Impact Wrestling. They're focusing on their pay-per-view. We talked about the talent exchanges and the politics involved. You would have to get these bookers all together and probably agree on all of this too. And again, there's probably a lot more.
But at the same time, you're only using 3 outside names. You're using Alexander, Rich Swann, and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
But you're also using their products and their airtime too for this as well. So again, that's another thing.
There's also 2 other routes they could have went with. I feel like there's 2 other routes they could have went with.
Go ahead.
One could have been an interesting story where the Elite get involved in the tournament to, wipe out the field so they can keep.
Yeah, you did tweet that. I saw that.
But there is a second
you can do that.
They could have just made this an AEW Impact-based tournament because Impact, wants AEW to feel the sting of them stealing their stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
A little bit of revenge.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
AEW
And they still would have been able to use New Japan names anyway.
Right.
Have the Bullet Club in there too. No reason you couldn't have put Jay White in that tournament as well. That would have been interesting.
I see Chris Bay.
And Chris Bay. And both. Why not both?
Exactly.
Have the elite and Bullet Club continue their feud, which hopefully starts Bound for Glory. Do it in that eliminated tournament.
Again, they said expect surprises.
Great
Bound for Glory. Go ahead, Casey. You haven't said anything. Talk about the bracket, James, and your thoughts in this tournament.
All right.
The
way I look at AEW's bracket, though, Tony Khan, he means well. He really does.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
In all my honest opinion, they kind of half-assed this bracket. They literally half-assed this bracket. Looking at James's bracket, at least James' bracket is a lot better than AEW's.
It's almost like I run a wrestling show and did my own tournament for like 5 years.
Because if AEW, did a bracket similar to James, this tournament would have been a lot better. It would have had some viewership to it and
interesting story.
Depth, exposure. I see what he's saying. Continue, Casey.
Exactly.
Emotion.
Right. It's correct. And if you have a bracket, if they had a bracket like James, with a lot of planning to it, it would have been, the tournament would have been definitely watched by some people. And
I agree.
That's
I think it's still going to be. They're definitely going to surprise us. I feel like the whole idea that Tony did here is that
suspension,
the wrestlers involved.
Few could be in the next breakout.
Powerhouse Hobbs is probably listening to this. Hobbs is probably listening to this. Ten's probably listening to this. Like, oh, I'm a heavy now, huh? And then they're gonna have like a fucking match of the year somehow. On
I'm gonna give
a
a prime example. Last year, AEW Full Gear. Personally, my favorite pay-per-view last year was the way it was booked and who was on it. Sleeper match for me that night: John Silver and Orange Cassidy.
Fuck yeah!
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
my God.
Yes, it was phenomenal match.
Great match.
What a sleeper match that was.
Just saying.
Yeah,
I'm not underestimating anybody's performance in this bracket. But I understand where people are coming from when it comes to suspension of disbelief and predictability. Because again, I said it. I feel stronger about the right-hand side than I do the left-hand side. Because at least on the right-hand side, I see Kingston and Archer could go either way. And I'm really looking forward to Dustin versus Bryan Danielson.
That's not going to be a wrestling match. That's going to be a fight.
Lance Archer put in all caps. We're fighting! Remember, the last time Lance Archer and Kingston were together, he bashed the man in a trash can.
Actually, that's not. Wait, you forget.
Right.
They met in New Japan recently.
That's true, but
Yeah,
it hasn't aired yet.
That's
It hasn't aired yet.
That's right.
I know, but that was already announced weeks back.
Yeah,
Right.
and I am not.
That match
Continue,
with
Casey.
Lance Archer and all that. I mean, that match is going to be a knockdown, drag out brawl.
I
Because
love
it's
it.
going to remind you like the Wild West. I mean, it's gonna resemble a Wild West scene. I mean, where
you're gonna confuse this match. You're gonna confuse this match with fucking any of Jerry Lawler's matches from back in the Memphis days.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's running to an old school
it's
wrestling
gonna be
fan
chaos
here,
and
James.
destruction in this match. Chaos and destruction. I mean, these guys are gonna beat the shit out of each other to no one is standing and somebody gets a win here. I mean, they're gonna legit. They are gonna beat the shit out of each other. There is definitely going to be a winner in this match because somebody is going out in this match. That I can guarantee.
The blackout on the kitchen sink. That's what's going to take.
You know what I just realized? I just fucking made a comparison to a match, to a Jerry Lawler match or any of Jerry Lawler's match during a time period where I wasn't even a fucking sperm cell yet.
But you're aware of Jerry Lawler's career.
Those matches.
Yeah. Hi,
Right.
I'm James. I'm a nerd for pro wrestling. Can you tell?
Well, I think that goes to a degree for all of us here. Some more
Pretty much,
nerds
yeah.
than others. But you and I could challenge each other. But this isn't trivia.
Well, you would
Look at
kill me in trivia probably.
No, I probably wouldn't. I'm not a trivia guy. I'm just a wrestling fan. That being said, this also is the second time in AEW history Lance and Kingston will feature one-on-one. In the previous original singles encounter, it was Lance who got the victory, and that match was a banger too. Go and Google it. So again, I'm looking very forward towards the right side of the bracket, but I'm ambitious towards the left because when it comes to Tony Khan, they're the reason why he puts these wrestlers in these type of matches that you normally don't see them in this type of capacity. We might have a sleeper on our hands. I'm just saying we'll have to wait and see. That being said, that's not the only tournament that's happening, isn't it, King, by your graphic? Because this Friday, we also will learn the bracket of the TBS Women's Championship. Now,
Please don't put Tokyo Joshi Pro in it. Please don't put Tokyo
Well,
Joshi Pro in it.
okay,
Please
so-
don't put Tokyo Joshi Pro in it. Please.
I've seen-
I don't need to see
I've seen-
Makito sing again.
Okay.
First off, please, King, speak.
All right, if I can load it. We continue to talk while I load it up. Because never mind, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, Eric, I want to get
So-
your, because me, King, Cindy, we talked about this. I want to hear your ambition about the TBS Championship. What do you think about it, and what do you hope to see come from it?
Well, in order to make this short and sweet, better than the Queen's Crown tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Most definitely.
Dude,
Definitely.
The
Way
AEW Women's
better,
World
he's right.
Eliminator Tournament was like better than this shit that they're doing right now with the Queen's
And that
Crown.
took place
And that
across
was not
Japan
good.
and America.
Yes.
So,
Anyway, what
we
King-
By
got-
the way,
Better or
while
worse?
King's looking for something, there is something I want to say. Junior Dos Santos did say recently he wants Cain Velasquez to show up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I guess what I was
I
thinking.
agree.
Ooh.
Listen. I agree with this. I've been in Cain Velasquez camp since his AAA debut. He was awesome there, and they fucked him in the WWE. They tried to kill his stock, and
Yes,
they
they
didn't know
did.
what the hell to do with him. And now he's got a chance to go to
I got
another
something to
major
say- I got
wrestling
something to say
promotion
about
and actually
that.
show what he can do.
All right, let
I got
Eric
something to say
speak.
about that.
What's up, Eric?
Go ahead.
I thought like AEW should totally make this joke saying this. If they bring Cain Velasquez in, they should go ahead and say, wasn't his last match where he showed up to work already with a broken leg? Who the hell would put a man in a match when he's already injured? Because Cain Velasquez was hurt when he showed up in WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, how I forgot about this. Duh, we're talking about the American Top Team Fan Inner Circle thing. We talk about promos. How did we forget about Chris Jericho lambasting Paige
Van Zandt.
Hey,
Yeah.
Van Zandt.
I'm a champion by attitude and powers.
I'm just waiting for legit Lana Hirsch. I'm just waiting for legit Lana Hirsch to join the Inner Circle and take on Paige in the wrestling ring. I want to see Paige do one.
The funniest thing about Paige Van Zandt, I'm looking at the promo now because I retweeted this segment.
Oh Lord!
The whole time she doesn't look like she's offended, and she's just smiling.
She's just smiling.
Time.
I wonder if she was doing that in character, or could she not stay like in like mean, angry character and just going along with it? You know, what I mean,
at the same time, you could say, "Hey, one of the guys I grew up watching in the Attitude Era is channeling his Attitude Era energy."
Exactly, that's what Jericho did.
So we got. Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, King.
All right, going back to a different women's perspective. King, you have I think some news or thoughts or something on the women's tournament.
Yep. So y'all know that we all know that the TBS Championship Bracket Tournament will be announced on Friday, and there are 6 possible entrants that will be in this trios action on Dark tomorrow. The 6 possible entrants are Diamante, Nyla Rose, Emi Sakura, Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa, and Red Velvet.
Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, that's a trios match they're doing on Dark, right?
Tomorrow night.
Right.
Oh, it's tomorrow night?
Yeah, tonight, Dark Elevation, they did Kylan King, Red Velvet, I know Casey, and
Rio Mizunami.
Thank you. I forget her name, but I love her character. And they took on Nyla Rose, Diamante, and Sakura, and Nyla and company won tonight.
But those are your 6 possible entrants.
Well, I have something intriguing. I hope they put Kayla Rossi in the tournament, by the way, just saying. But
I want to see how deep this tournament goes, because you got more time between now and January. Because again, the title will be given to the winner in January when Dynamite moves to TBS, which only is going to strengthen TBS in more households. That being said, I want to see people like Sky Blue. People have been saying Jade Cargill for a champion. Definitely want to see, of course, the bunny. Yay, Allie. I can definitely see Ford and Ruby putting their names in the hat. You shut up, Casey. So I want to see Jamie Hayter involved in this too. Bring more gold to Britt Baker's faction. But that's just my personal opinion. And of course, legit Lana Hirsch, straight up want to see her. Eric, you have something to say or thoughts?
Yeah,
okay.
I
got 2 suggestions for this tournament. If they get to January, I got 2 suggestions. 1, you gotta get a Stardom wrestler just for this.
Definitely agree.
2,
Yeah, absolutely.
Utami.
How would you feel if we have it at Wrestle Kingdom, the finals?
3 days.
No. Whoa.
You gotta do something.
No.
The thing is, they're just now finally bringing Stardom onto the New Japan platform for us fans to see. Again, those great Stardom tag matches from the freaking the MetLife.
That's the main reason I'm saying no, because that's the main reason I'm saying no, because you got to put Stardom on Wrestle Kingdom.
And they're just now.
That's why I said we should. That's why I said if you put a Stardom wrestler involved.
If you put, I'll meet you halfway.
Stretch.
I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah.
If we have Killer Kelly and who was the Russian guy that Russian girl that
Masha Slamovich. Congratulations on getting signed up for wrestling, by the way. Well deserved.
Have those you want those two? Because I know Killer Kelly's still a part of Stardom, but them there, yeah. Sign me up.
But also Killer Kelly, as you know,
that's semifinal on Wrestle Kingdom.
She's taking care of her health. She's not wrestling at least till next year. She literally came out and said that. So
that's fair. That's fair. Well, you know what I mean. A Stardom woman fighting,
Look,
whoever.
I mean, Killer Kelly, Rachel Ellering, 2 key athletes I want to see as champions. I agree with you 100%. All right.
Yeah. Real quick, by the way, I got information on Paige Van Zandt. For those who don't know who she is, I figured I'd just read this out because it's interesting trivia. So I asked All Elite Doug, aka Doug from RVD Tito for Life, and Steven Jensen of Fightful about this. And Doug is the one who retweeted and gave me some information on Paige Van Zandt. Sure. She used to fight in the UFC, had a couple of wins, and then went on a really big losing streak. Ooh, boy. She also made money as a model. And is really not that type of model, by the way. She's really tough, but not the most skilled. Currently 0-2 in bare knuckle boxing. And then I saw Chris Warden says UFC really tried to hype her up when they had her headline on Fox against Michelle Waterston, and she got destroyed. Pretty much downhill after that. Yet after her and Sage Northcutt, where Dana tried to promote. For Paige specifically, she really needed to transition to wrestling and give up fighting already. And I said, so what you're saying is she's probably going to the Nightmare Factory in a couple of months then. If she's 0-2 in boxing, I think her fighting career is winding down. That said, at least she's having fun with the stuff on AEW. I think the smile gave it away. Thanks for the info, guys. Much appreciated.
So there you go. I mean, Anthony Ogogo, another again, former boxer himself. He was.
Oh my God,
Nightmare
Factory.
Well.
If there was one success story out of that, I'll even say it. Not that great QT Marshall and Cody feud. It's Anthony Ogogo, bro. I can't wait to see him come back. Anthony Ogogo, a breakout star.
Definitely, most definitely. Yes.
I
still think to this day that he should have took the win over Cody. I still say
I agree, but I'm glad he didn't because it would have been way too soon.
Yeah,
right. Again, he wasn't ready.
He's just getting his feet wet again. Now,
he showed a lot.
Plus, he was injured. If he beat Cody, he would have momentum that would just die out because he was.
It would have been an Eddie Dennis situation when he beat Trent Severn. It would have just been that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Which, speaking of which,
that being said, though, talking more about women in wrestling, what's everybody's thoughts about Anna Jay versus Dr. Baker at DMD? Is this a teaser for things to come? What's the people's expectations?
Well, first off, what the hell's that copyright music playing in the background? Stop it!
Listen to JD. JD for
Stop it! Yeah, you know.
It's JD. Oh, JD might be fine. JD uses non-copyright free music, non-copyrighted music. Anyway, still
free domain. So, what's people's expectations on the rest of Rampage? As we know, we got more of a card for that than Dime at this point. We got Anna Jay versus Dr. Baker DMD and Pop versus Andrade 2.
I'm ready. I'm ready for both. I'm not sure why they're doing Britt Baker and DMD this soon.
Yeah, they didn't even.
I thought that would have been pay-per-view.
They didn't even rebook Sheeta or Deeb. I figured that it just seemed like out of nowhere. Okay, we're just doing this. I'm like, okay.
Maybe they're saving Sheeta and Deeb for the pay-per-view or Dynamite.
Maybe they're part of the maybe they'll be part of the tournament.
That's true.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. And we don't know how deep this tournament is going to be, but I would hope it's at least 16. That's just my opinion. So
I hope so
same.
Too.
Same here.
I hope so.
There should be 16 participants instead of 5.
AEW can definitely pull off 16 women. They did it before.
AEW, since I know you listen to your fans, listen. Serious, nice one there, King. Since you listen to your fans, go copy my bracket and just put it for the TBS Women's Division tournament. There you go. Done.
There you
I
go.
can think bigger. I can think bigger. I can think bigger.
Of course,
bigger.
Of course you can.
We do. If the AEW can do it, a multi-promotional G1 version for women's wrestling lasting to enough for a January showcase match.
Round robin tournament. A round robin tournament versus single elimination. Round robin.
And they all go 2 minutes.
And plus, it's like 3 months before January.
And all the matches go at least 10 minutes. You got a point there because, again, well, still, I mean, the freaking match on Rampage, like both matches on Rampage last week are long.
No. It's no. In WWE land, it would just go in 2 minutes. It's fine.
2 minutes and 48 seconds, according to what King had.
Or a minute 30.
From what I gather, it would be about between 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes and 48.
And the only matches women-wise in AEW that do that are Jade Cargill matches, because I guess they preserve her as the unbeatable character.
Yeah, they're really trying to push her to show we can make a green superstar into a great superstar.
She's still very green. I don't know if I would.
Still
I
very
want-
green
I
in that
mean,
ring.
like I said, Jay Gargill, she's
Jade
still
Cargill.
rough around the edges, but at least it's not Naya.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
she's
Naya.
opposite Naya. She's opposite Naya in that she doesn't lay her shit in and she pulls way too much. Like, dude, I remember the triple threat match that they had on Rampage. She's got the worst chair shots I've seen since Hogan. And Thunder Rose is just looking at her like, fucking hit me. Staring at her.
Look at anxiety. The anxiety got to her, James.
James, I got a way to top it. Question. Who would you pick for worst chair shot fire? Hulk Hogan, Jay Cargill, or when Gato turned on Okada?
Gato. Definitely Gato.
It's Gato.
Gato.
Although the one that Hogan hit on Macho is a very close second.
Yeah, but that's not saying much. Let's be honest. But I digress. Now, before we close, there's only one other thing really to talk about, and it's first off, fuck country redacted. But I actually want to talk about this coming Dynamite.
Here we go.
How do people feel that we are getting Cody versus Malachi 3?
I'm fine with it.
I mean, like, okay, there's two routes I'm going to see this go.
No, pay-per-view, to be honest, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I totally get it. I think it's because they already have the card set up and they can't really. I'm like, they could have done it in the tournament, but Cody's exempt, so they can't do that.
Because Cody said he will never challenge for that world title. And two,
I think that's why the fans are booing him, to be honest.
I'm honestly surprised he stuck to it for 2 years so far.
I'm impressed, actually, because wrestling integrity is something. Wrestler integrity is something you don't normally get from a promo. And this is
he's getting so booed. He's so booed.
And he's just
such a heel.
It's eating it. It's like it's eating away at him, like Malachi Black says, like he's rotting from the inside. And now Arn's testing him, like, okay, how far are you willing to go to get the win? So here's my thing: if Cody loses, which I think he will, this Saturday, what does he do? Does he turn on Arn? Does he just descend into madness and go full blown heel? Now, like say, if he goes heel, he retires. Like, how do you do this to make it different than the other
full black, go back to full black hair, go back to the goth getup he had when he fought Brody Lee, and switch his theme song from downstate into Nightmare or America by Motionless in White. There you go, done. There's the full transition into the change. Like he just slowly descends. And
I got it. We make him American Psycho Christian Bale.
Yeah, that's exactly the gimmick I'm thinking of.
That could work.
Like he would be so good as a heel. He always has been better than a heel than a babyface, but because he was the standard bearer, no one was booing him for the longest time. Now there's so much star power that he can be booed again.
And Malachi Black's the one that's influencing this. The House of Black. He got booed out of Opera Ash Stadium. Just saying.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
That was a hostile environment.
That was a good match, by the way. I liked it. Can't
Very
wait for
good match.
Very I don't know why they don't put it on pay-per-view.
Well, again, TV restrictions. I mean, YouTube once in a while, especially as a set round. And I'm curious what else the Dark is going to bring. I'm sure King's just waiting for more Taikonti, and he definitely wants Taikonti in the TBS tournament. Enough said.
Oh yes, of course. I want Thunder Rosa and Ty Conti. Enough said.
Same.
Versus each other.
Not versus each other.
That could be your final, dude. That could be a final.
That could be a final.
Yes, it could.
Again, there's ambition and potential with the TBS tournament. I'm just waiting to see the bracket, and I'm sure we'll talk about more then. So before we conclude this all out, no pun intended, ATW View, does anyone else have anything to say before we conclude?
Okay, two things. One, the main event of Raw ended, and Charlotte retained via disqualification. Yeah,
of course she did.
Also, I just realized something horrible, and once I realized this, Becky and Charlotte are champs, and they're probably going to switch. And Survivor Series is coming up.
I knew it. They were going that route. I knew it. I called it. Oh,
So they could probably do that.
I'm just waiting for them to make a white belt with a purple emblem in the middle. That's all I'm waiting for. So
The Barney belt? I
Barney
love
belt, is that what
you. You love me.
okay. I broke Jay's brain. I broke Jay's
Wait, no,
brain.
I got one. I got
Yeah.
one.
No,
for you.
I
Ready?
broke him. I
Cruiserweight
broke him
title
before
was
No,
the
ready?
Barney
No, his
belt.
brain was
It was
slowly
the Barney
recovering, and I
belt,
broke it.
cruiserweight title.
No, I here's a better jingle that resembles WWE. Ready?
Oh no.
Vince hates you. You hate Vince. Vince hates women wrestling with a great fuck you and a fuck you back too. Won't you say fuck you, Vince, too?
Bravo. Bravo.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Bravo, man.
Hold
Autism,
up,
baby.
Hashtag
Eric,
mental health matters.
did you? Okay, so you said that the titles might switch,
Oh,
correct?
my
If
God.
Becky retains at you know where.
So what?
Oh,
Well,
Stupid
apparently, somebody somebody said, JD said, is WWE thinking about a possible unification match at Survivor Series for both the women's championships?
I've been talking about it. I've been
There's
talking
just a
about it.
problem.
That ain't
There's just a
happening now.
problem. There's just a problem.
What?
How do you think Fox and USA are going to feel if they have only just the one woman's title?
Oh, right. Well, they're already
I
pissed
think
off the
gonna-
network execs. Why does it matter?
Just fucking get AEW. Seriously, they're not getting anything with WWE. They literally keep fucking them over at every turn, no matter what. They could have a brand split. They say they're having a brand split, and then the fucking guy that's supposed to be exclusive to that network is showing up on the other network, and the networks get pissed. They bicker like it's something on them, when in reality it's just Vince being like, ha, 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 prank, bro. Fuck off. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them and get AEW. You'd be so much happier. You'd have so much less of a headache.
Oh, and guess what Roman Reigns said?
That's why people
Oh,
love
no.
professional wrestling nowadays.
Oh,
What-
why?
This is not Roman Reigns talking. This is actually Joe, I believe.
Oh, this is him. This is him putting his loaded fist in his mouth again. All right, let's hear it.
Joe said that yes, Fox pushed heavy for me to stay on SmackDown.
Of course they did.
Because if they didn't, SmackDown would have no reason.
Of course
SmackDown would
they
have no reason to be
did.
watched. If
And now
SmackDown would not
think
be
about this.
watched if it wasn't
Fox
for
would
Roman.
say keep Roman on SmackDown. Okay, we'll keep Roman on SmackDown.
And
by the
SmackDown
way-
would not be watched if Roman wasn't on it. It's as simple as that.
The reason he's on SmackDown, right now is because Fox knows that if Roman goes to Raw, SmackDown becomes Raw. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Remember how we were making jokes about WWE being a literal cartoon hellhole?
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean how it has been since its inception? Yes.
Would this
Oh,
be
no.
a bad time to mention Rhea Ripley lost the women's tag title in her ring gear in Albuquerque?
Oh, great.
And I can make a Bugs Bunny joke
Oh.
right now?
Oh no.
No,
I can make a Bugs Bunny joke. I am
Leave
happy.
my Rio alone,
Don't.
man.
Don't.
Leave my Rio
No.
alone, man. She's already
I
got enough
am
mental
evil.
issues.
Don't.
Don't, dude.
So
Don't.
Jericho
Don't.
lost the AEW World Title belt in 2019. Now here
And
we are in
Walter
2021.
lost his. and then
Walter
got
lost
back
his
later.
UK title, and now here we are, Rhea Ripley losing the women's tag team title.
What's with wrestlers and losing their titles? Like, the
I don't
fuck?
know. It's a
I
really
can still
weird
make the Bugs
situation.
Bunny joke from Albuquerque.
Please don't.
In
No.
reality, you could also have made the same joke with Jericho because you lost.
Yeah,
the-
though at the same time, I could just make the joke
Little
where
bit
Bugs Bunny
bubbly.
thinks he finally made it to Albuquerque, but when he finds the belt, he realizes it's Stanford, and then he leaves.
I think that's what
Little
Little bit of
bit
the bubbly.
Hey, I lost. Maybe Rhea lost it on purpose. Like, I lost the belt. Sorry, my bad.
Well, I mean, Rhea and Nikki, not saying it, as a tag team, just saying.
Nikki Ash Ketchum. Pokemon, I choose you.
Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley. Use Riptide. Rhea.
Two more things that's beyond WWE. There's two things that are somewhat WWE related, but it's beyond them. It's beyond them. I know it's just,
let him get it out. Let him get it out, Eric.
okay.
I set it up, and then James came with the slam right there.
Wow, what a combo. What a power
It's like
move.
CM Punk. Yo, it's
What
like
a
CM
power
Punk building
move.
up his whole
Oh
match to be
my
a body slam.
God.
Freaking broke Casey. Eric, go ahead and continue your 2 points. What were you saying?
One. Buddy Matthews is coming in November to New Japan.
That's no.
Yay!
Spoiled that.
That's the-
Yeah, I kind of spoiled that
No
last
longer a
week.
kept secret.
Yes. Also, Braun Strowman met up with the Impact Executive Vice President.
Heard about that as well.
That's interesting to me because there's
I'm actually
potential
fine with
now
that.
when we talk about Bray Wyatt or Ryan Wyndham. Sorry, botch. Literally, you might get the living members of the Wyatt family, all three of them. in
New
Impact
Violent by
Wrestling.
Design members, just saying. Could be
Or
new
you have
Violent by
a
Design
feud
members.
against Violent by Design.
True.
That'd be a wild
Really?
six-man.
That'd be great.
I would not mind seeing them in Impact Wrestling. That'd be awesome. And that's also further influence and enhancement on the entire roster. That builds the tag team division. That builds everybody.
Did anyone see Free the Narrative 2 with Adam Shearer? Because that was great.
Yes, that was good.
That was fucking awesome.
Good.
That was fucking really, really good.
These narrative shows that EC3 like brings forward in books, brilliant. He's really redefined himself and really has helped out a lot of people. I gotta respect that.
Yeah, I like mental health matters, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, true.
Also, I gotta ask if if Wyndham Rotunda does show up in Impact, and considering how much iconography and his religion he likes to use for his stories, you realize it's so easy to do Rosemary.
Oh, true.
Or Sue Young. Or Sue Young.
Join up with Decay, actually.
Him and Rosemary, the interaction, I'm just like, give me.
Dude, if he took over as leader of the Decay, that would be a fucking shout, to be honest.
That'd be crazy.
Black Taurus would not be a bad fourth member in the family at all. He would be
still not, to be fair, nobody in Decay right now.
Steve too.
Nobody in Decay is a
you can
weak
do a
link,
Win-
honestly. So
Or you can do like Wyndham and Sue Young.
that's right. Because here's the thing. Kimberly and Brady Lauren answer to their mother. We don't know there's a father.
There's a father. Mitchell. Ooh.
Not Father Mitchell either. Just saying.
That's true. We have not heard about Father Mitchell in a bit.
Well, that's because the last time he showed up, he's managing someone named Judias in the NWA, and they're feuding against James Storm.
Oh. Well, I like James Storm. By the way, recommendation: does anybody think that Hangman should have a manager in James Storm? I think
He's one of those fans I wouldn't mind seeing, but the Hangman right now, he's able to manage himself. But maybe the next saga of his tail, like after losing the
the world title, tag team.
There you go.
Cowboy shit.
Okay, do you want to know what someone proposed? You want to know what Alex proposed for Full Gear?
Go ahead.
Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. Austin 316 is our lead as the referee.
Okay.
If they got Austin,
the building would fall apart.
The pay-per-view buy rates will go through the freaking roof, and that's just him special guest refereeing.
Dude, because if they got him for that, he's gonna have one final match with Punk. And I think it's gonna happen. I stand by that statement. Keep an eye out for it. I think it probably won't happen during Full Gear. Probably they're not going to tease it then. I don't even think Austin showing
It's
up.
not in Texas.
Great idea.
It's Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen there. However, once his contract is up with doing these Broken Skull sessions,
which are awesome,
which are awesome,
Yeah.
but admittedly, everything has a shelf life. This probably has a shelf life too. I think he goes to AEW and has that one final match with Punk that he never could get. Remember, he always wanted to fight Punk for his final match, and he could never get into the WWE because the circumstances are so tight-knit and controlled. In AEW, not so much, and this could allow Austin to be Austin and Punk to be Punk, and that would be your main event for whatever show that is. That would sell out. I'm calling it now. If they get Austin and they bring him in next year, that's selling out Jacksonville Stadium. 100%. They're putting that in Jacksonville and they're selling out that stadium.
Okay. Here's the thing. If they do Jacksonville Stadium and if they can do Austin and Punk somehow by grace of miracles, I gotta be honest, they should definitely make this the quote definitive sequel to All In by calling it All or Nothing.
Yeah, because you've been asking about that to happen. I agree. I've been waiting for that tagline.
Just get all your promotions to have all the
bring everybody in.
storylines.
You want to include it. This is the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Okay? Just do it. Do that special. Go Shia LaBeouf. Do it. Just do it. Ow. I freaking just had a freaking vein pop in my head.
What if we just get a Shia LaBeouf cameo on AEW Dynamite? Nothing would surprise me anymore.
I mean, like they got Ahsoka Tano. Yeah. They got Ahsoka Tano on it.
Yeah,
that's true.
And that is the Mr. Deathmatch.
In fact, now that I think about it, if she's contracted to Disney, does that mean Disney's more aware of AEW than they probably are WWE?
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
probably.
They are in Florida. They are in Florida.
We will be better than Disney.
Oh, for the love of God. Oh, God. No.
I'm still laughing at that.
I mean, in reality, AEW versus WWE is going to be an extension of the Disney versus Warner Brothers feud anyway. Let's be fucking honest.
Not nearly as interesting, though.
Eventually.
Just saying.
No, probably not.
No.
Unless they do.
If I was to make the proper comparison, it's more like DC and Marvel's feud, sort of. The executives are angry at each other, but the people involved who work there, they're like, "Oh man, I would love to work with those guys. Man, I would love to work with those guys."
Yeah, exactly. Because in AEW, you absolutely enjoy yourself.
And by the way, just to put in perspective, and I don't think we talked about this, but before we wrap up completely. You do realize we on the American Top Team thing, we saw a contracted UFC fighter, two contracted UFC fighters, because freaking Junior Dos Santos is under a Legends deal with UFC or something similar to it.
Correct.
And the Bellator contracted fighter in Jake Hager.
Correct.
I'm just saying.
MMA's in the Forbidden Door.
I think the Forbidden Door's trickling down to the MMA world a bit. Just saying.
I'm also saying that the very first time you saw American Top Team involved in AEW, there was a certain fighter in the audience watching on, Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
I want to see her involved in this thing.
Yeah, Nunes looks like she could be a fucking star, dude. Like the thing about it is though, she's on a goddamn roll as the champ right now in UFC.
Double champ.
Unless she lost. She's a double champ, so I don't know. It's gonna be a while before that happens.
Well, I'm sure Casey can also, probably prospect that.
There was one more thing I wanted to bring up. But it was like, nah, it's way too hot to talk about. I'll talk about it after. I'll talk about it after.
And there's one woman that was very close to beating Amanda Nunes that y'all may not know of, Valentina Shevchenko.
Valentina, I've heard of her. I remember they were talking about the rematch with her.
Very close to beating Amanda Nunes, and they gave Amanda that fight. And when you look at that,
this is one of those fights that went by decision. I bet.
Yep.
They're gonna do a trilogy. They always do a trilogy when it comes to
exactly. And Valentina Shevchenko. One thing that amazes me about her is she's in there within a second when she throws a jab, and she's like so amazingly fast.
Yeah.
And both her and her sister are fighters. And Antonia Shevchenko, in all honesty, I mean, she's not as good as her sister Valentina is.
Well, develop over time, I'm sure.
And develop, overtime. And Valentina, I mean, she's current flyweight UFC flyweight champ right now, if I'm not mistaken.
They have a lot of good stuff going on in the UFC.
Yes,
Now,
they
if only
do.
if only they could stop doing the stupid ESPN Plus deals and get out that Reebok deal. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Good luck with
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, fucking dude. Wasn't there rumors that they were supposed to like drop Reebok and go to Venom or something? When the hell did those talks fall through or something?
I think they did because I have UFC, the latest UFC game. Yeah, and they they do updates. Yeah, they're with Venom now. They dropped Reebok, I think, months ago.
Thank
They're
God.
with Venom.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Dude, do you remember when they fucking did the fucking Ireland shirt and they forgot Northern Ireland? I remember.
Yep.
Dude, that pissed everyone off.
I remember that.
That pissed me off, and I'm not even Irish.
He's just Irish boy. He's a Irish Anyway, I'm not Irish.
Wait, I just realized something. If UFC is part of the Forbidden Door, does that mean we might expect Conor McGregor?
Oh my God! If Conor McGregor showed up on ATW, dude.
Well, I didn't even think about that name,
bro. If Conor McGregor, I'll give you two names if you get him from the fighting world. There's two names that could really, really draw big business for AEW. One's Conor. Across the pond, it's an unorthodox one, but KSI. Seriously, KSI. He could draw. And by the way, he actually has pro wrestling training too. KSI does, believe it or not. There's a full-on wrestling match with him fighting somebody. I don't remember the fucking guy for the life of me. He had good fundamentals.
And here's another one. Here's another one besides McGregor. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it because
again, like James was talking about this whole Forbidden Door thing and the firework getting involved. Remember, Deonna Purrazzo literally is training right now in MMA with one of the Invicta champions of the welterweight.
Yeah, and Thunder Rosa is in MMA too, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
yes, she is.
That experienced MMA fighter. I mean, she's got some experience in her.
I think this fighting is more involved in the Forbidden Door than we realize, and that's all I gotta say about that. I don't see why
because Tony Khan. Because it's like Tony Khan it actually treats pro wrestling like it's a combat sport as well as entertainment. Kind of like other combat sports are.
To be fair,
even UFC started doing the WWS, like when Brock Lesnar came in and trashed the heavyweight division.
Yeah, he said
I love when they got The Rock. I love when they got The Rock to introduce the BMF championship when Jorge Masvidal won that thing. I think he fought Ben Askren. That was the fight he fought Ben Askren in, right? And
right.
And nobody knew who he was. They didn't even cheer for the fucking theme song. It's like he came into a whole new world and everybody was on their ass. Like,
who are you?
Really?
Like, who are you? You got me.
Like they don't even recognize him as Dwayne because they hear the WWE tune and they hate him. They hate hearing anything WWE even there. Like I don't even know what
except
it is,
for Kurt Angle. Like Colby Covington came out to Kurt Angle's theme. I forgot what fight it was, but
God, I just realized something.
And then all of a sudden, like everybody chanted "You suck." Like they know Kurt.
They recognize that. But they also respect Kurt Angle all around.
Taker too. Taker got a sizable pop once. Taker got a sizable pop.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Eric?
I know we're trying to end this, but I just keep getting more realizations.
This is the wrestling marathon at this point. I'll upload this an hour apart if I have to. I don't care.
Yeah, go.
What if Conor McGregor does show up in AEW? He's a heel. He does the strut.
Oh my God! The
oh
Vince
my
McMahon
God!
The Vince McMahon walk on AEW television. Imagine the heat.
Oh hell no!
Oh yes!
He's just asking for Matt Cardona levels of hate.
Holy fuck!
You know
yeah.
me.
Give me that.
You know
Give
me.
That.
I be predicting things.
Again, are we there in the future? Are we booking a reality that some may say is impossible, but 2001 has taught anything is that
wasn't Punk returning impossible? Wasn't Punk returning impossible? Wasn't Sting
nothing's impossible anything? Nothing's impossible.
Professional
anymore.
wrestling is absolutely unlimited in the possibilities of who could show up, what can happen, where, when, how, and why or why not. But you will just love it and go, holy shit.
Wrestling is just like one big anime plot, but instead of like one anime show,
It's a
all the
comic
anime
book
shows come
shared
together.
universe.
Yes.
As Aaron just summed it up. Simple as that.
All the characters come together to fight Orgato.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a Captain Planet thing for a moment.
No.
So when do you think someone's gonna have the moment where? In fact, I'm trying to wonder. Has anyone posted the end game scene with the portals and all of them converging, all the wrestling promotions converging together? Well, Vince McMahon is the mighty Thanos who tries to gobble up everything in his control.
I'm sure there's a meme out there somewhere like that. Where's the
Forbidden! Assemble. It's just Tony. It's just Kenny Omega with the fucking, instead of the shield, it's the fucking gun point.
It'd be Tony Khan, because Tony Khan, he can be very boisterous. I've heard him firsthand. And again, Tony Khan.
No, if Tony Khan were to say it, he'd be like, Avengers, assemble!
Okay, now you sound like that. Now you sound like Lufer almost.
That's what he sounds like, though. That's literally what Tony Khan sounds like when he gets excited. His voice cracks.
Yeah, I seen it when he presented the AEW replica to that guy.
Yeah,
Dude,
and when he came out and told us about what was going to happen in Cincinnati, yeah, I definitely heard it. Again, he is literally the personification of a professional wrestling fan. You couldn't ask for something.
No. You want to know what he is?
What is he?
And this will probably end the video on the depressing note. He is the geek who has all the money in the world and can do whatever he wants while all of us sit at home and depressed. I'm going to cry in a corner knowing I will never be a billionaire.
What the fuck is wrong with you, you asshole?
Fuck, man. You fucking dumbish.
Why did you have to end it? No, fuck you. I'm gonna end this on the positive note. If
Fuck
AEW
you,
were to
dude.
actually get like
Exactly.
some fuck you income,
I
I'd be totally okay if AEW decided to get fuck you income and pay Brock Lesnar just for one night, just to see a scream off.
I thought you
between
said you
Brock
didn't want to see Lesnar anymore.
I do, but only for one reason. Just to see Brock Lesnar have a scream off with Tony Khan.
Oh, Lord.
No. I got it. Vicky Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar scream off.
Oh, God, no.
We know who the fuck's going to win that.
I got it.
Don't you dare, Casey. I know what you're thinking.
I got it.
Don't you dare.
I got it.
Don't you dare.
Got it, Casey. Do it.
Luther versus Brock Lesnar scream off.
Oh, well, Luther wins, and so does Vicky. I want to see Vicky and Luther. Oh, wait. Melina. She's an underrated one, you know.
Oh, that's
all we gotta say is all this is possible.
Oh, no.
Oh, I will just say, let's just say this. Tony Khan, the billionaire fan geek every geek wishes to be. I'll be in the corner now.
Stop
Tony
it.
Khan, the savior. The savior and the revival of professional wrestling. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry. What if he pulls a Gabe Newell in this the false prophet like Triple H became? Nah.
Damn.
Well,
you know what? You
it
know
was a
why
good
it
run.
won't happen?
7 years. It was a good run.
Here's why it won't happen. Unlike Eric Bischoff, he wasn't controlled by Turner Network, and unlike Triple H, he's not controlled by Vince.
Actually, here's the thing. Did you hear WWE's opinion on Tony Khan?
What they said?
I don't.
They think
What?
they think he's exactly like Ted Turner. He'll spend himself into oblivion. And
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, I was thinking to myself, okay, they'll think he'll just spend himself to oblivion like he did WCW. And I was like, okay, Vince, WWE, I just want to point this delicately.
And that's why AEW made record profits 3 years in a row in their existence, right?
But let me just point this out, as Noah would say, as simply as possible. It's not the fucking 90s anymore.
Nope.
It's not.
Exactly right.
And Ted Turner is an existing proof that Tony Khan has to say, okay, not do the same mistakes as this guy. Now we have a president. Now I can do better.
Yeah,
And he
pretty
has
much.
Eric Bischoff, who he constantly, I might add, stays in contact with, helping him, no doubt, guide this through. And so far, I say he's doing a pretty damn good job. And he even say he's not perfect. We realize that too. But he's doing a pretty damn good job with AE fucking W. And by the way, congratulations to his recent hires, Lee Moriarty.
By the way,
Amanda Kiefer.
King is blowing his nose because he's allergic to WWE's bullshit.
Well,
Exactly.
that's true. But I got immunization. It's called don't watch it.
There you go. Amen to that. That's
Like I
awesome,
said,
Rob.
the only thing I care about related to that company is NXT UK, and I'm looking forward to Jenny versus Michael Seth tomorrow.
No, here's a better one.
A-Kid versus freaking Ela. What a freaking match!
Yeah, that's true.
Here's a better phrase for WWE. DTTE. Don't trust the E.
Yes.
That's a damn great one.
It's as simple as that.
We are sports entertainment. We're not pro wrestling.
We just did a fucking record. 3 hours and 45 minutes.
I'm sure we already defeated Raw in terms of actual entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we also surpassed. I think we also surpassed the WrestleMania video.
Leave me for I recommend, even though this is your channel, let me go last because I have a bold prediction to end this video off of. So
okay, well then I think with that, I think James was even calling for the millionaire horn, so I'll go ahead and call it.
He is the latest guest to arrive.
Oh, who's that?
No, he's the latest guest. That means he should have the last say.
Oh, I thought, yeah, I was like,
oh, fair. I didn't know that's how
really makes sense. I didn't think about that too. But then again, when you go for 3 hours and 45 minutes talking all things wrestling possible and not even cover everything still, it's one of those things like, how do we dismiss this? Oh, I know. Okay, Eric know how to do it, so that's cool. Anyway, I've been that about to do it for us too here on for us crew here on the ATW View. Let's go around and promote where people can connect, rant, react, and probably debate with certain people about anything in wrestling too. And King, who's got the All Elite graphic as we wait for AW Dark tomorrow night, I will start with you. Your last thoughts and where can people connect with you?
I love this pro wrestling shared universe. That's all. Follow me on Twitter, AMTXX with 3 eyes, with the Roman numeral 23, with the number 23. Same way with Instagram. Follow me on Snapchat if you want to talk more wrestling with me on Snapchat. Follow me at YoungLAO20.
All right. Preacher man, I said preacher man, I can tell you're tired, but you always got that personality and smile. And I know we didn't cover everything clearly because I wanted to hear your perspective on quarter card, but we'll save that for another time. So with that being said, your last thoughts and where can people connect with you?
And also, I have a question before you start plugging. Did you fall asleep last night on the chat?
Yeah,
no,
Casey,
I
did
didn't.
you?
No, I had some other things like I had to do.
Oh, okay, fair. I thought you fell asleep. We all thought you fell asleep.
We laughed our
and
ass
we were
off, being like,
laughing.
okay, he's asleep.
Because we all thought you was asleep,
He
bro.
mentioned in the chat he had to do some stuff around the house, I think.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I missed that. That would have been funny. You should have just said
my
yes.
phone.
It would have been funny.
I'm not Michael Cole who doesn't acknowledge what's going on in front of him. Okay, I don't have my phone in front of me looking at a random thing or texting somebody.
And you know what's all about the and I quote
And
Michael Cole, baby.
Oy vey. The anonymous.
Oh man.
Don't go there.
Oh man.
Don't go there.
Go ahead, Casey. Sorry.
And Noah's exit theme
Don't you start.
for the
don't you start.
ATW
I swear, I'll
View.
cut
You
this
realize you
off.
can mute you, right?
I'll cut this off. I will cut this off.
Never
You realize
mind.
you could just
Never
mute
mind.
it,
I'll be
right?
cool. I'll be cool.
All
I'll
right.
be cool.
Yeah.
But
Plug in
anyway,
your socials.
all right. And quote AEW Impact Wrestling in the
God.
shared universe. God, I love this fucking shit.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
And,
Boxley.
and all I say is follow me on at Casey Flynn 6542. That's my Twitter account. My Instagram is Flynn lowercase f 7187. That's my official Instagram account. And if you want to see me speak facts and share my honesty, I mean, that's where I could put them at. But I'm not a type of guy, but I'm a type of guy that's pretty private. I mean, I like keep my opinions private, but I'm not afraid to say what I think on here. I keep it within the fam. That's how I keep it.
Never turn your back on the family. That being said, Eric, always a pleasure, man.
Caesar Duran, no.
People
Anyway.
people think when I dress in all black, I look like somebody
Anyway.
make a hit on somebody in the mafia.
I changed my mind. Anyway, Noah's exit theme is going to be on a set of 10, 9,
No.
8,
No.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We still have other people to plug, and I don't want this to end.
I will walk out this room. I'm telling you. Don't you do it.
You guys know you can mute him. You're the host.
I'm not a tyrant, though. Remember?
You did it before.
What?
You did it before.
It depends on the comment.
I terminated you all because you freaking took my freaking passion for. I'm not starting this. I am not starting this right now. You're trying to start something.
Let's me and James make our plugs.
Go make your plugs. Share universe, man. Eric.
Follow me. Of course.
There he is.
Down the rabbit hole. Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da.
When did this just turn into the Price is Right? Who was doing
Alley
the da, 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 da?
boy.
Who did the troll thing? Who just did the troll thing?
I'm just an alley boy. Alley
boy.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, Casey.
Go ahead.
I know what would probably be a nightmare for you and Noah.
12-3. Jesus.
Let me shut up now. Let me quietly shut up.
What if Allie fought Dakota Kai? How do you think that's going to go between you two?
I think DJ is gonna kick that face.
No, I mean, like,
off
what's going to
that-
happen with you and Noah?
Oh, I'm gonna go war with him. There's no question.
Yeah, I'll definitely go to war with you over that match because I will be in DK's corner, you and Allie's corner, and DK is gonna kick Allie's face off her shoulders and send her back to wherever she came from. And Allie will get beaten by Dakota.
Wait. Casey, I gotta get some criticism for that last part of your sentence. You had the perfect chance to say Wonderland.
Oh, Allie and
all right.
Too late. It's too late, Casey. I'm doing my plug.
All right. First off, hey,
Here we go.
Hold on. First off, let me talk to you. All right. If that happens, I already know who's winning that. There's no debate.
All right.
Secondly, this is all way off topic. All right.
No. Dakota.
Can we plug our
Allie's
shit?
ass and Noah and Allie sitting in a tree. They will be.
Damn it!
I don't know. You're gonna channel Noah Tyrant.
No, I'm sorry,
Grandpa.
man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Grandpa
start
Noah.
this.
Grandpa Noah. Look
Throw
at
the
look at-
glasses.
Go full
I gotta get
grandpa.
the glass.
Going full grandpa.
To anybody that is watching this latest episode, we are so sorry because
Yeah.
We're trying to get
Yeah,
to the
we're
plugs.
We
we're trying to get
apologize.
everybody's
We
socials
apologize.
in.
We
So
apologize. I apologize.
Hey, you know what?
I'm truly
It's
sorry.
better to do this at the end than in the
I'm
beginning.
truly sorry. I'm truly sorry. It's
No, it's out of love. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh.
I'm just humoring this.
No.
I'm just going along with it. Eric, please plug your stuff.
Oh,
Okay, my
chill,
social
man.
is
I'm
Neo
sorry. I
Reality.
truly apologize.
Yeah.
It's all good.
My social is Neo Reality ENT. Check it out on Twitter, and there will also be a link to your link tree, which will feature all my other social media posts and my YouTube channel content. And
Help me set up a link tree, please. I need help with that. Thank you.
Okay, it's actually pretty easy.
Help me.
Okay.
'Cause I can't figure it out. Anyway, continue.
So follow me on my YouTube channels, my podcast on Anchor.fm, and also I'll be talking about more comic stuff. And I got some more projects in the meantime coming soon in the future. I just gotta wait an extra month for that video to be made, but you'll see what I'm talking about soon. I just need to see everything produced. I just started today on it. But yeah, that's about it for me. James, since you are the latest guest to join us, you have the floor. Also, I forbid Wonderland Alley jokes.
Yes, I don't worry. I'm not. I've already said my down the rabbit hole joke many times tonight. We don't need to.
You and Casey are the tag team that raises my ire, but I appreciate both you brothers, and that's why again we're family. But that went way on too long.
It's lucky I didn't hit the ATW GM with a stunner. And that's talking about you, though. Lucky I didn't hit a stunner on you.
Are you trying to cause something here?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Wait, hold on, time out. Eric, what are you trying?
Guys, we keep calling ourselves family. I just realized I'm surprised no one has done a Vin Diesel joke yet.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Like we see
I got it. It's
okay,
been
Jason.
a long day without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. I'm Vin Diesel, and in my cover of "See You Again." I think that's the song title, right?
Because it means family.
Family matters.
Fuck.
Well, we can at least say we reached the 4-hour mark.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
Speaking of the 4-hour mark,
unbelievable, James.
Speaking of
this thing out,
and speaking of, well, go ahead,
King. Just want to tell you, I got your birthday present for Zoom on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's
for Zoom.
Oh, I'm getting a birthday present.
Yeah, he is. King.
Oh,
is.
Noah's getting a birthday present.
Me,
I'm not until February, and I turn 30 next year.
My birthday is this Wednesday.
Yeah.
But hey, King,
birthday present for the King.
We're gonna watch the best of the past, part 2 of AEW Dark and Elevation. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah.
It will be fun.
Go ahead, James.
Okay, James, do your plugins.
Okay, James, take the floor.
About something.
Take the floor, bud.
First off, you can also check out Noah. I'm sure Noah will do his plugs too. He's a part of the FTW umbrella.
Not about
if you guys want
wrestling, but continue your thing.
Continuing with my plugs as well. You guys can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/user/JHebertside95. That's JHEBERTSIDE95. By the way, my channel is back. That's why I'm plugging it again. For those who don't know the story, I got hacked by some cryptocurrency scheme artist. Fuck that guy, got him exposed. Apparently, he's now arrested. So good for him. Anyway.
And yet Logan Paul's not arrested for his crypto scam.
Don't bring that asshole up.
Yeah, right. Anyway, that said, you guys could check me out on YouTube there. All the FTW Productions stuff is there. You could also check me out on Wrestling Fortune 44, which is Owen's channel, youtube.com/user/Wrestling Fortune 44. Noah and I host the Wrestling Rundown, at least in the time being in Owen's absence. So check that out over there. Hopefully we'll do one at some point this week with the new streaming setup, even though we have to premiere it anyway, because Owen can't live stream on his channel for some reason, but I digress. Fucking YouTube. What can you do? Anyway, check that out there. You could also check out Casey's channel where we do Wrestling with Idiocy, watch-alongs, and button mashers. I also do button mashers on my channel somewhat. So check all that out. youtube.com/user/metalnut1120. And finally, Speaking of lawn ass shows, you can check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling. That's youtube.com/user/Weymouth, WEYMOUTH, Youth Wrestling, all one word. That is my CAW Wrestling League I've been running for coming up on, I believe, 8 years and counting. Fucking hell, it's been a long time, and it feels like it's gone by way too quick. 8-hour Immortal stream. We basically did it as a challenge to try to see what show is better in quality, Immortal or WrestleMania that year. Well, I think you'll find your answer if you watch the show. Guarantee you'll like that show. If you've never seen CAW Wrestling before, I highly recommend watching that show. However, advised to watch it in chunks. That said, here's my prediction. Speaking of the WWE,
Oh Lord,
I guarantee you Triple H
God.
and Stephanie McMahon jump ship to the other side on AEW or somewhere else. You watch.
I seriously Triple H
Could be way off.
for another company.
I could be wrong. I could be way off, or I could be right on the money. Either way, it's going to be funny to watch this back in like 3 years' time and and laugh about it either way. I hope I'm wrong.
October 18th, 2024. Remember this moment. All right.
It's actually 11:59 here, so it'll be October 19th. Here.
Yes, we'll be going till midnight.
Well,
Anyway.
Jesus freaking criminy
Midnight.
Christ.
It's midnight here.
Well, damn it. All right. Well, y'all are bloody insane. I don't think nothing else needs to be said. And Casey, you have your person claim to fame. I have mine. It's as simple as that. And I think I would just end with this because you annoyed me. I think I should annoy somebody else. Hey, King. 2.0 rules. That being said, folks, again, thanks for tuning in to the ATW View. Nothing else needs to be said. For these fine gentlemen here, we are ATW. We hope you enjoyed them in chunks. And I bid you all a fine adieu. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your nights. And as always, go find yourself something good to watch. Not WWE, pro wrestling, or a good fight.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Long day.
Enough.
It's been a long day.
Because it means family.
Just end it here, Noah. It's fine. This is where you end it. It's
All right,
been
all right.
a
See you
A
later.
long day.
If I lost it.
All right, another one.
Uh-oh.
There's another one.
Damn it.
Finally broke it.
Native land.
Okay, end the recording,
End the
man.
recording. It's fine.
Through page loving on our son's command. With glowing hearts, we see the rise that
You still have a chance,
nor
Noah. End the
strong
recording, and I can say
Just
something.
end the recording.
Oh, far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada.
I got the vision. Fuck it.
Oh,
Fuck it.
Canada, we stand on
Fuck it.
guard for thee. That is so beautiful, that can make you cry. That will make women fall out of their chairs. That will make that will have the whole building
play
cry.
it. What is it?
Oh, God. What the fuck is wrong
Oh
with
no. I know
What
what
was
this
this?
is.
Game over.
Right,
Goodbye.
just right on.
That's it for sure.
Yeah. That was tremendous.